going on, everybody? The Raider Room is back. We back. All three of us. We on the screen, man. You guys better be ready. The off season is upon us. Look, we shut it down. Off season is here. Now we're looking at the number one overall pick. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. And man, we're gonna rock out with my guys in Raider War Room, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up with us on a Wednesday. If y'all don't know, we go live on Wednesdays as well as typically Sundays after the game. We're going to continue with the Sundays kind of going into the off season. But man, a lot to talk about. There's already head coaches that are being lined up. There was an interview today. There's going to be interviews all the way up until Friday. We got a couple plays to break down. And I'll kind of set the stage a little bit for the plays that we're going to showcase. Not a whole lot because there's a lot of head coaching talk that we want to definitely get into. And so definitely prepare for that. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, hit that like button. You got Chris Protect Show podcast on this side. You got the Severe Raider over here. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk, Raider Nation, man. We appreciate y'all popping in with us. Again, do us a favor, double tap that screen, but also just to show some appreciation to our subscribers. We do a sub-only chat. So if you want to get included with the conversation, hit that sub button. We definitely appreciate it. We also have memberships. One thing that we're going to do to kind of show our appreciation to the memberships is we're going to break down game film in the offseason, whether it be free agents as well as college prospects. And if you guys have a suggestion, if there's a player that you guys want us to potentially break down in the offseason leading up to the draft, all that, then definitely become a member. We'll definitely put you up on that priority list, and we'll put those names on that list. So we definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us. And so based on Chris being prepared and ready for it, he's got a little something, man. As soon as he showed me something on the screen, I was like, God damn it. Maybe I need to go get myself one as well. And so this is what I'm going to do. Chris, I'm going to give you your time to say what's up to the chat. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my own, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. So what's going on, man?
Chat, what up, everybody? First, what's up, my boy Severe, man? How you feeling, man? You good?
Oh, man, look. I feel a 74-year-old weight has been lifted off of my chest.
74-year-old weight, for sure.
Man, it's good.
Salute to everybody, man. My boy LS in the building. What's going on?
Hooray, red?
Yeah, we red striping it tonight. Pumpkin season's over, man. So I was one and done. Y'all was on me. But salute to my boy LS. He said, I'll be bitterly disappointed if we hire a defensive head coach. We're going to talk about that. Salute to Raider Hawaii in the building, new member, man. Appreciate you. Got my boy Jack in the building. What's up? Got my boy Raiders News Central. What's happening with you? Appreciate you coming through. Sacktown Raider Mike. What's happening? VBZ in the house. He said they listen to me. If they did that more often, they would be winners. I feel you.
The same way.
Yeah, we all feel like that, man. It's crazy that we feel like we can make this team better than those. I know I could. My team will be fine. My team will be fine for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Let's see. Sacktown, what's going on? Dominique in the building, what's going on? What's happening? Let's see. Isaiah, what's going on? Appreciate you. My boy Jeff in the building. What's going on, Jeff? Hey, Jeff be on the show talking his talk, man. Jeff is feeling himself. I feel some of his takes, but hey, I know we'll talk about it later, but this whole youth movement everybody keep talking about, we're gonna talk about that, man. LS in the building, so I understand the floor is love personally. Yeah, we'll talk about all that, man. We'll talk about. I don't even want to take all the shine, but salute to everybody, man. Raider Bebop in the building. Just some names I ain't seen in a while. Raiders first down in the building.
Yeah, Jason Downs, Milka Beasy.
Yeah, so salute to all y'all, man, for sure. Let's get it, 805. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Cheers to you, big dog. Cheers to you. Hey, we're going to have some fun.
And I can't wait to after this live. We're going to talk about the draft because we all going. The war room going to be in the building.
We're going to be in Pittsburgh, man. Number one overall draft pick. Hopefully it's a very, very, very long time we ever have a number one pick. But we're going to enjoy it. We're going to be in Pittsburgh. We're going to have some fun, man. If anybody is going to be in Pittsburgh, definitely hit us up on IG. Send us a message. Put a message in the comment. Let us know, and it'd be great to put a name to a face and link up with everybody. So definitely look forward to that. Hit the notification because we'll continue to give you guys updates on what's going down in Pittsburgh. And I think Jeff is going to be going to Pittsburgh. I talked to Leo. Leo said he's going to be going to Pittsburgh, man. I think
I'm making Turf go. I don't care where
Turf got to go. Turf has to go.
And
I'm going to have a GoPro at the entire draft just to capture the moment.
If we draft Mendoza, you guys think Turf was mad about Bowers? If we draft Mendoza, Turf is going to be must-watch TV.
That might get wild with Turf for sure. Man, that's going to be crazy. So, man, I don't know. You shot the chat, man, severe. I don't know if you had a chance to say what's going on, but what's going on with you, brother? You good?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. I'm feeling, like I said, man, I 74-year-old weight to be lifted off of my chest. It is Brennan. Man, the reports I was reading, I'm not going to demand it on camera. Behind the scenes, my boy Chris owes Chip Kelly an apology. A massive apology.
Nah.
Massive apology.
I knew you were going to try that.
Have you read the reports? Have you read the reports? Did you read the Ryan McFadden article?
Wait, which one?
My God.
Wait, which one?
Oh my God.
What, talking about Brennan?
About Brennan?
It's like, talking about everything. Everything.
I saw the one about Brennan. And
I saw the one about Brennan.
I read the whole article. My God. Hey, look. They tried to do my boy Chip. They tried to do him like they tried to do Tupac in New York. Y'all couldn't get him. Y'all couldn't get him that first time. You had to spin the block on him. Y'all got him the second time though. Y'all couldn't get him that first time.
I gotta read it. I gotta read it. We'll see.
Yeah, you gotta read it.
Look, man.
I knew you was gonna try to spin the block on that and be like, oh well, nah, man. No. As a man, you gotta put your foot down, man. He ain't do that.
He should have popped Pete in the mouth.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Just the same argument like Spy Tech. You know what I'm saying? Or Spy Tech, if you got bullied around the draft or free agency, whatever, and if it really wasn't his decision to bring over Gino, well, guess what, bro? This is your job.
Yeah.
Your name is on the line. If that ain't your move,
look,
put that man in place.
There's one difference. Spy Tech can fire Pete. Chip Kelly can't fire Pete Carroll. He's supposed to have power.
But still, you can't let him drag you like that. Like I'd rather you fire me for insubordination.
It couldn't be me. I'd
rather you fire me for insubordination instead of me getting fired and now I'm at like Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm snitching. I'm snitching. But
see,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm done with it. Chip
Kelly could have got a head coaching job. I said he don't want it. That's what I keep telling people. He could have got a head coaching job in college. He does not want it.
Montana State.
He don't want it. Hey, he can touchdown time. He got a brother out there somewhere. He got a brother out there somewhere. Who else was out there? He got James Madison needed a coach for a minute. You feel me?
God damn it. Y'all crazy. But say what's up to everybody else. Ready to follow in the building. What's going on, man? Manny Dunlap.
Jackson's job, Georgia State.
Who?
Take Hugh Jackson's job at Georgia State.
Georgia State.
When they get their back kicked in.
Hey,
don't
mess with
Jackie Robinson of HBCUs.
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me on camera laughing at you, Jackson. That's my boy. Man. My boy.
That's my dog.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Tommy Motor in the building. What's going on, man? Right away. What's happening? Appreciate you popping in here. Radio News Central in the building as well. Appreciate you. Sun Goddess. What is going on?
Sun Goddess.
Machiavelli in the building. Appreciate you. MGs. What's happening, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. Ryukin. What's happening? Appreciate you rocking with us.
Appreciate my dog Jeff. Appreciate look.
Well, coach.
You were ripping for the older for the 50 and above. I ain't mad at you. You were ripping for the 50 and above, but Pete Carroll, he let you down.
But Jeff don't. He think Harbaugh too old, man.
Because Pete Carroll did him.
I know that's what I'm saying. See,
Pete Carroll burned him.
You done messed up the fan base, Severe.
He messed up everybody.
At least, Jeff can kind of own up to it. You guys kind of had your disagreement. Y'all went after it and shot to Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stand back on that one. Salute to you, brother. John Rodriguez, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. So, my bro, don't be surprised if Cliff Kingsbury is coach and he brings Milroe.
Oh God,
he trades with the Jets for a big haul.
If we
I think you're saying Cliff Kingsbury. That's got to be the kid, or Clint Kubiak. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Kubiak. Yeah, Camille Rose over there.
Sorry, there's.
Interesting.
I don't want Milroe.
I don't want Milroe either.
I want nothing to do with Milroe. Was not a fan of him coming out of Alabama. You know what? The one thing I know people have asked me before, just how do I evaluate quarterbacks and kind of what I go through. One big evaluation that I have out there is I want to know how low is your floor. Like that's my biggest thing, right? Anthony Richardson had the lowest floor you could possibly imagine. That's why I never wanted. I wanted nothing to do with him.
Right.
Milroe is very similar to where his floor is so low. I want a quarterback that their floor is much higher than normal than others, because it's less of a risk.
The one thing about Milroe is that, like, literally, he can change positions. Like, if he don't work at quarterback, you can conceivably put him at, like, you put him probably put him at tailback. You know, I don't know what
for all prior situation.
Yeah, I don't know what his hands were like, but you know, he may be slot receiver. He's legit like that. I think some people actually talked about that pre-draft. Like, there's like some teams wanted him to convert to tailback. And he might be the speed back we need because, you know, we got 4-6 in the backfield. So
we about to break down just a little bit of game film. And we're going to talk about it in just a second, man. But John, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there, brother. Jeff, you're saying, damn, we're going to have one hell of a roundtable in Pittsburgh. It's going to be fun, without question. And unless I want live footage of your faces when we draft Jeremiah Love at number 1 overall. Could you imagine? Like, that turf threatened to leave the draft last time. He will legitimately, he'll be out.
I turn in my fan card, man. I would turn in my fan card.
How wild would that be?
Yeah. Y'all see me with like what's a UFL team? Y'all see with
the Wild.
I've been watching LA Avengers. I don't know what I'll take it back.
Yeah,
give me a Tommy Maddox jersey.
Oh shit. MGZ, we're going to talk about the I believe it was Webb that we interviewed today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over just a little bit of game film, not a whole lot. And I'll tell you why we're looking at the game film, but not a whole lot of plays, but we're definitely going to get into the coaching talk. Milka Beasy, what's going on, man? Dave in the building as well. Appreciate you rocking with us. We got Franklin Center. What's going on? Art White, what's happening? Daniel Kim, man, appreciate you rocking. I emailed you all that stuff, man, so we're good. Appreciate you rocking with me, man. Jake Long, rocking out too. TK in the building. Chip still needs to go. Salute. Well, we're going to get more in that article. We'll definitely talk about that maybe on Sunday. We'll bring that article up and definitely dive into that.
Mine. I don't care. I know he's going to try.
But the article is pretty bad. I'm not
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Really bad.
No, I haven't read the whole article, but I definitely read the one that was directed at Brendan Carroll, and that just in itself, it's actually in itself. It's not even surprising because we've been saying it since day one.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm not surprised anything with Brendan Carroll.
LS, we really got Pete's lack of pullout game to think we're getting the number 1 pick. Goddamn, LS. I gotta screen your goddamn comments, LS. Jesus Christ. Red or white, man, appreciate you coming a member. The only reason to request an interview with Davis Webb was for a non-play calling head coach. Or maybe some maybe a little bit of intel over there. We never know. Jack, what's going on, man? Appreciate everybody popping in here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say what's up to everybody else as we kind of get down. John, the building. What's happening, man? John, you're saying Spy Tech. Brady reported they want OC as a head coach. They're heavy on OC for head coach, so DCs are off the table. I did go live yesterday and talked a little bit about John Spy Tech's presser. And I kind of broke that down a little bit, just my take on it and some of the things that he said. I think does lean that he might go offensive-minded head coach, but I'm going to throw it to my guys really quick. Severe, do you think Spy Tech is going to maybe possibly lean offensive-minded or defensive-minded? I know Harbaugh's out there. We're going to talk about Harbaugh. But do you think he might lean one way or another?
I honestly don't think so. Because he worked in a Tampa Bay organization that had both Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles as head coach. I think he was in Denver when John Fox was the head coach. So I don't think he would care either way or lean either way. Tom Brady's entire career outside of when he played for Bruce Arians was with a defensive head coach. Yep. And he saw the value in having a defensive head coach. Like, Belichick literally took over QB coach duties and would break down defensive game film with him And that was like Tom Brady talks about all the time, how valuable that was to him in terms of his development and understanding what defenses were trying to do. So I don't think that, them as a contingent would carry the way, because they've both seen success at the highest level with the defensive guy and head coach. But the Wave is offensive minded head coaches, but we're probably, outside of the Jets, we're probably the worst job on the open market right now, despite having cap space and a number one overall pick. So we might lose out on all the top offensive candidates. So if you can't get a top offensive candidate, the best bet may be to go with the top defensive candidate.
Maybe. Chris, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I kind of similar. Yeah, I definitely don't think that. I mean, he's going to lean one way or the other. To be honest, I think they're going to look for a leader. For a good leader. I think those leadership qualities going to matter more than anything else. Because I think that again, Brady was around someone like Belichick, someone that was really like a mastermind, someone that got everyone to buy in. And honestly, I think that's kind of what he thought that Pete Carroll was going to do. He thought everyone was going to get the buy-in from Pete. So I'm looking forward to, some strong leadership that they're going to be looking for. But then again, like Severe said, the Wave is kind of, the new fresh-minded young coach. They're interviewing some guys that fit that mold, but I'm not looking, as far as the interview set, I'm not sold on just what's in front of us right now. I think it's going to be a real process. They're going to, really dig, do a deep dive and make sure that they get it right. Hopefully,
I know there was one thing that Spy Tech said in his presser a couple days ago, and he basically said that in order to have sustained success, it's really difficult because even when you have a successful organization or a successful team, you still see good coaches leave the building. You see coordinators leave. You see, you see, good quality, whether it be offensive or defensive coordinators leave the building. And as he was kind of explaining it, the one thing you can kind of point to, and it's one of the things that I said in last offseason, was this year was going to be really interesting to see how Dan Campbell really is as a head coach, because he lost both of his coordinators.
Yeah.
So now he has to go and rehire. And my hope is that with what Spy Tech said, I hope that he does see the importance of capturing a coordinator, again, in my opinion, possibly like an offensive-minded head coach, and you match it up with the quarterback, and you can have that married pair for however long the success can run for. Because the mass majority of NFL teams now lean offensive-minded head coach. That's kind of where the majority of teams like to go. Not saying it doesn't go the other way, defensive-minded, but the majority like to go that way. So the likelihood that if you go get yourself, and again, I'm just going to throw like a name out there. Imagine if it was an offensive-minded head coach and you were able to pull over like a Raheem Morris. Like, I don't know if Raheem Morris in the next 3-4 years will even be considered for a job, even if we have a decent defense. Just don't know. And so you have yourself a chance at maintaining a core coaching staff and not losing an offensive-minded head coach when you try to draft possibly a quarterback number one overall. Like, you kind of want to keep that married pair. So again, it was just me kind of just reading into what he was saying. And to me, it feels like he might lean offensive-minded if he wants to keep coordinators in the building. Kind of based on what he's saying. So again, that was just me speculating, but or maybe that's just what I wanted to hear because I want to go offensive-minded. But that's neither here nor there. John, throwing a super chat, man. I appreciate you. If Chambliss is able to enter the draft, get him in the later rounds, and please get Genty some legit running back help. I think that kid plays this Friday, Chambliss, or this Friday or tomorrow. I forget which day it is. That Chambliss kid is very interesting. I'm not going to lie. He's very, very interesting. Now, I know that I think he tried to get an extra year, so I think he's technically trying to go back to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Do you know if that's approved or not, or is it official?
I don't know if it's official as of yet. I know that he is trying. Because I guess NIL deal or whatever. So I think they're trying to put some petition in for him. So it sounds like he'll go back and he'll be able
if that kid can get another year in college, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's a lot to like. It's a small sample size. Don't get me wrong. I think he's only played 7 or 8 games this season, so kind of a smaller sample size. But there's a lot to like.
At D1,
I'm not gonna lie.
D1 level. He
Yes.
is two-time national champion at a D2 level. So people worry about how many starts has the guy had. He's had the starts, just not Division 1 starts.
Yeah.
But,
and so, guys, quick thoughts on him.
Tyson Badgett, I want to say.
Yeah, for me, I was a fan of him. Earlier on, I kind of had a liking to him. Just his game, he has that he has that grit, behind him. He has that like competitiveness about him. Someone that, the crazy thing is it's almost like he has like a little Jackson Dart in him, when you see him out there playing, just kind of, doing what it takes, a little bit of that Baker Mayfield mentality. And I've always loved that in my quarterback. So, but again, I do think, he does need a little bit. I hope he does go back. I don't think he's ready for the NFL just yet, but he's another guy that's going to need some developing, but no, he's going to be a player, man. Like, honestly, that's what I'm saying. Next year's draft has some dudes, man. They have some dudes coming out next year. Like the quarterbacks, like we could easily see another draft where there's 5 or 6 first rounders. So that's what I'm like. I know everyone wants a quarterback right now, but
that sounds like we should trade a certain player.
Maybe we'll talk about that. But again, you're right. Like, if you're not 110% sold, because again, it's not like we have the 10th pick, or the 9th pick. We have the number 1. And as much as we hold Genty accountable for being drafted at number 6, and we hold it to a certain standard, that number 1, you better win us not just one Super Bowl. You better win us multiple. Like, that's going to be the expectation. You know what I'm saying? And so it's got to be right. And so it is tough with the quarterback position. You got to have a lot of support. You got to have a really good foundation to kind of put the pieces together. But maybe we'll talk a little bit about Max. LS, catch me, John. Appreciate the super chat. Catch me in a Saskatchewan Roughriders jersey if we don't have the quarterback.
That's a Canada league, ain't it? Ain't that
that's
Crazy thing is one of my guys that actually went to my high school played for them. He was a beast. He actually went to the little Hall of Fame for them or whatever. He was a monster.
It was crazy because one of this player I really liked one year. I can't remember what year it was. His name was Darius Bowman. I think he went to OK State. I thought he was going to be a dog, but I forgot who drafted him. But he ended up with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Yeah.
That's crazy. Raiders first down says first 3 interviews are offensive minded. Because I don't think Vance Joseph is this week. I don't think.
It'll have to be virtual. But all those guys will have to be virtual though. So like all those guys are everybody we've requested thus far are on bye weeks from the playoffs. So if we haven't done it already, like it'll be like around the same time.
But I thought his
outside of Nagy.
Who's this?
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, Clint's is Friday, right? And then Nagy. Yeah, okay. Maybe Joseph isn't this week. I could have swore his was this week though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna go through all the coaches. We're gonna go through all the coaches, at least the ones that are confirmed interviews. We're definitely gonna get everybody's feedback on it. So we're definitely gonna tap into that. TK, you got Saleh as a head coach. There's not an interview out there, but I know a lot of people. If you go defensive minded, he's not a bad name to throw out there. LS people buy in. When you win games of football, we did the leader thing with AP and Carroll. We did for sure. Let's see real quick. We got a super chat. I don't know whose channel this is on.
It's on mine. I think.
Okay, Severe Man, go for it.
Yes, sir. My guy Ruben Russ, man, much appreciated to you. That is going to go toward me funding Pete Carroll's retirement party. Thank you. In terms of offensive-minded coach, how does the thought of Mendoza or Moore compare to other situations, as in Mendoza versus Dart, Tua, Lamar, Penix, Shador / Watson? Is the number 1 pick more attractive than those guys? I mean, it depends on how. Like, I would put Mendoza in my personal opinion. I'll put him behind all of those guys except Shador, and I accept Tua. I put him behind all those guys except Tua. To be honest with you. just coming out. My personal feelings about the guys. He's just coming out. I'll probably put him behind all those guys. But I'm sure he's safe. He's very safe in my opinion. Like, he's not going to be like a bust. He's not going to be a Anthony Richardson. But I don't think he has a ceiling to be. Well, I don't think he has a ceiling of what I thought Penix could be. I thought Penix could be top 5. I thought Shador can be top 10-ish. I thought Dart could be top 10-ish. I think Moore can be top 5. So I don't think he has that same ceiling.
But I think he's talking about like as of like right now. So like because so like would a head coach rather have a Mendoza or coach one of those other guys since those teams have open?
But you have to look at it like this. Because those other people, as well as Mendoza, if Mendoza is the pick or Moore is the pick, that comes attached with an organization. So it's like, it's not just the player. If it's just like I'm coaching the player in the playground, okay, maybe you Mendoza. But if you come attached to an organization that has proven time and time again that they don't have the patience and the fan base, and a large part of why we've been firing people is because of the fan outcry. Mark Davis is very in tune with Raider Nation. And we saw a perfect example with Josh McDaniels, where a week before he was telling the fan to smarten up, because the fan needs to smarten up, to be honest with you. He needs to smarten up. But he was telling the fan to smarten up. And then right after that, it was a big outcry. And they said they took the sign from the guy that said fire. And then after that, Josh McDaniels gets fired while he's trick-or-treating. So so if you have this kind of fan base attached to the job where they have influence over the owner has shown that he's not patient and he behaves like a fan because he essentially is a fan, then you have to think about that. You have to worry about that. You have to worry about how much Tom Brady will or won't be around. You have to worry about Spytek's inexperience. You have to worry about all these things. The fact that they let Pete Carroll run roughshod over all of them. This 74-year-old man is out there punking them. Like OG Bobby Johnson. Like, it was ridiculous. So, like, all of that stuff, it will be factored in. And do you want to risk your very first? I'll keep going back to this. Your very first opportunity will be this job. So people won't be like, oh, man, remember Clint Kubiak? He was with the Raiders. Man, remember how dirty they did him? Man, no, they remember, like, man, Clint Kubiak, he went 3-6. He went 3-14. Yep. Like, man, like, he got in the next year, he went 5-12. Like, man, can't get. Hey, I don't know about him. I don't know about him, right? So, like, people don't look, even the Flores situation, people don't look at the context of what happened with Flores in Miami. They're like, man, him and Tua, him and Tua. That's all they look. Oh, she didn't do Tua right. Let's just said it. He didn't do Tua right. But there's a whole lot surrounding that situation that nobody brings up. So he's painted with that broad brush. And so, do you want to put yourself in a situation like Flores did with Miami, where they did him dirty and then they smeared him afterwards? Like, purposely, mind you, smeared him. Like, nobody wants to go through that.
No, and that's why I think we've said it. I think all three of us are very clear. No matter who this next head coach is, you got to give him a minimum of 3 years.
Got to.
You got to.
Yeah.
I think with Pete Carroll, with age and the dysfunction that we've seen, I think you can justify it, especially with the age and having the number 1 overall pick. You want to be able to develop whoever you decide to go with. But at the end of the day, like, I think you have to give this next head coach, no matter who it is, a full 3 years to set the foundation, because we need to rewrite this ship of just the dysfunction that we've had of just rotating doors of coaches the last, 6 years now. So I think no matter what, whether you like them or not, they got to give them 3 years. And so I think we all kind of agree to that. Chris, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, so just kind of looking at the different coaching opportunities. I mean, for one, I look at Cleveland. I think that Cleveland has a good foundation. They have a good young base that a coach can come into and be like, hey, and honestly, I think what's his name? Jim Haslam over there. I think he'll give his coach an opportunity, because I think that there's some Browns fans that thought that they could have let Stefanski go a little early, but I mean, he got those 2 early coaches of the year, but I mean, there's a lot of shaky things that he did. So, but I think that Cleveland job is could be desirable, even though that organization is what it is. as far as Penix, I think Atlanta has some pieces too. So if I'm a coach, I'm cool with that. The Ravens are the Ravens. The Ravens are one of the best organizations. They ran well. I mean, that's a good opportunity. Now the Dolphins, that's a little shaky because they kind of tore that thing down, but they got some weapons. And I think the Giants, I think that is a great opportunity. I think that might be my favorite opportunity, honestly.
Outside, maybe the Ravens. The Ravens.
The Ravens. I think that Ravens opportunity is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Because the thing is what the Ravens, I think, have over almost everybody at this point is that front office.
Yeah,
is locked in.
They're going to draft. They're going to draft some guys.
Look, and you come equipped with people. You come equipped with people. Now some of them are a little bit older, but you come equipped with Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, who's see that crazy catch he made, what should have won the game. You still get Derrick Henry, who didn't he? I don't know if he got the rushing title again, but he damn near got the rushing title this year. If they would have fed him the rock more, down the stretch, possibly why John Harbaugh got fired. But you got Zay Flowers still young, Lamar. Lamar probably ordered the code red on Harbaugh, got him up out of there. You got some pieces on defense. You just have to,
Hamilton,
you just need a new coordinator on that side of the ball because Mike McDonald had those guys balling the year before. They had some injuries this year. Hamilton is a dog. Matabuke was hurt most of the year. Van Noy, his big forehead, he played well. You got some guys over there.
Forehead, wow.
You do, room the best. I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there, man. I see you got another one. I'm gonna get to in just a second, man. Promise. And you look at that Ravens organization, you look at that roster, like you go into as a coach already basically having the pieces to get you to the playoffs.
Exactly.
Like it's not like you're instant rebuild mode. And I think again, we're getting to coaches. I've made it very clear. I do like Clinton Kubiak. That actually scares me now because of the ties that his dad has to the Ravens. If you get rid of John Harbaugh, you have to have a plan in mind.
Right.
And I just don't know what that plan is, but I'm sure that they're like, oh no, we know who we're getting.
Yeah.
So, hey, yes, please do it. Please do it, Severe. Please do
John
it.
Harbaugh, you're too immature. Get some adults in the room.
Oh man. Gerard, Pope in the middle. What's going on? You sent up, fellas. What question? What do y'all think will happen with JPJ? Does he return back to center? Honestly, I don't even know. In my opinion, I have no clue. Who knows what this next offensive line coach is going to want to do? I have no clue. What are you guys' thoughts, Severe?
Yeah, I mean, if you read that article, Ryan McFadden's article, it goes over who was responsible for those moves, how guys would on Saturday not know who was starting for sure. This is Saturday before pro football is played on Sundays and sometimes Mondays. On Saturday, they didn't know who would be the starter on the offensive line. Come on, bro. Come on. Free Chip Kelly. I need a shirt. Free Chip Kelly.
Jason, real quick, you're saying Matt Nagy is a head scratcher, but I'm hearing Dingleberry is possibly going to be in KC. Chris, any thoughts on JPJ? Do you think that he would be better off at center, guard? Do you have any opinion on that?
Oh, you guys should know. I definitely think he should go back to center, and I think that any reasonable coach will come in here and put him back to where he's supposed to be. But I don't know. I don't know what coordinator we're going to bring in, what coach we're going to bring in. But I don't see a situation where they'll look at the game film and say, hey, let's keep him at guard. So, but we'll see. But he should be center for sure.
Yeah, and again, for me, it's just trying to figure out who the offensive line coach is, what type of run scheme that they're going to try to implement. And I think he can play both. I think he could play both and execute extremely well. And so I definitely want to see what run scheme we bring to the building. What up, Ralph? What's going on, man? Appreciate you popping up in here, guys. Make sure you guys go show some love to Ralph and his channel, man. Definitely go show some support, man. I appreciate you rocking up with us. And then Ruben, I think this is Severe again, brother. Severe, go for it.
Thoughts on Kubiak and Raheem Morris pairing in Vegas? Raheem as DC was pretty successful, and we'll probably have to wait a while till he gets a shot at head coaching job again. So the most and I was talking with Chris and Rundown, and Turf and Leo about this earlier. My number one guy is LaFleur, and there's much more likely a pairing of LaFleur and Raheem Morris than it is Kubiak and Raheem Morris, because when first of all, Raheem Morris was an offensive assistant in Atlanta working under Shanahan and Dan Quinn. Who was on his staff as also as an offensive assistant working under him? LaFleur. And then obviously, there's the ties he has to Shanahan, because LaFleur worked with him in San Francisco, and then McVay and Raheem Morris were on the staff together with the Redskins, and Raheem Morris worked under McVay with the Rams, and then LaFleur obviously worked under McVay currently. So there's a lot more ties between LaFleur and Raheem Morris. And if you give me that pairing, I love it. I think that's an awesome pairing. LaFleur is the guy I wanted before we hired Pete Carroll. So I think that would be an awesome. And he'd have a veteran head coach, a great defensive mind, and a good sounding board to kind of help him through some of the pitfalls that a young head coach might encounter. So I think that combination would be great. Kubiak, I don't think that would be. I don't know who Kubiak would tab as his defensive coordinator, but I don't think Raheem Morris will be the guy, because I don't know if there's any relationships there.
I think Matt LaFleur's name needs to be in the mix. The crazy part is I just don't know if I've heard his name in the head coaching mix as it stands right now. So it'd be really interesting to see just when his name pops up and is at least in this cycle, which again, I think with his history deserves to definitely be in this cycle and talked about, maybe even getting some interviews. But I will say, a Clint Kubiak, Raheem Morris pairing, and I 100% agree with the history and stuff, but man, you pair those two guys, man, I would not be opposed to it at all. Chris, what's your thoughts on a Kubiak, Raheem Morris possible pairing?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, it sounds pretty good on paper, but again, a lot of times you got to kind of look at the history that people have, with each other, because a lot of times, this is going to be Kubiak's first opportunity, so you want to have a guy that who, for the most part, you feel comfortable with, have some kind of relationship with, so. Because you don't want a Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly type of situation, So you don't want to be forced in marriage. So so I don't know, but I think Raheem, I think he's a guy that Severe was saying that he may be a while for him to get another opportunity. Or no, actually the comment said that, but I don't think he'll be a head coach again. I just don't think he's a good head coach, but he's a guy that's going to be very good coordinator for a long time. I mean, he's a very, very good defensive coordinator. But yeah, if that did happen, I'd be interested, but I don't think it's too likely, to be honest.
Yeah, and LS, yes. Raiders and candy are synonymous with pain. Yes, I know that. God damn it. Hey, but it was just Christmas. So my kids got some candy. They got some candy, all right?
Candy.
What up, Leo? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you popping in, guys. Make sure you guys go over to show some support over to Leo's channel. I know you guys are going to be rocking. I think tonight we're going to go a little bit of game film. We definitely try to say what's up to as many people as we can up in the building. We got over 200 in here. We appreciate y'all. Double tap that screen. Try to get to as many as we possibly can.
People are happy about Pete Carroll getting fired, apparently.
They're coming back. They're coming back. And Leo, I'm going to put this comment up here for just a quick second. Hired DeAndre for Shador. So you're just trying to piss me off. That's what you're doing. Leo,
we have more draft picks than Deion has toes. I'm good. I'm good on Deion. Good.
Samir just writes these down and he waits. He waits for the moment. I love it.
He had that in the chamber. He had that in the chamber.
He did. He definitely had that in the chamber.
That came out too smooth.
That's a good one.
Nah, man. That's all off the dome, baby. This is URL. You are watching.
God.
Don DeMarco. My rebuttal game, baby, is Danny Myers. I'm too cold.
I see.
God. All right. So Jason has a question. What qualities do you not like? Are you not sold on Mendoza? I have to do more research. I honestly don't know just yet. I haven't watched enough game to get a real idea as to who he is, the strengths and weaknesses. So I can't say that just yet, but I promise you I will get there. I promise. Severe, do you have anything on that?
Yeah, man, just his time at Cal, like he had flashes at Cal, he had flashes of talent there, but you look at his turnover worthy plays through the roof, like a lot of turnover worthy plays. I think, put like this. Cam Ward, as a freshman starting it at Washington State, threw for more touchdowns and more yards than any than any year Mendoza did, period, right? Not touchdowns. Touchdowns, I think Mendoza got him this year, but he threw for more yards than any year Mendoza did. And that was him as a freshman at Washington State. And Mendoza couldn't put up those type of numbers at Cal. And then like his numbers were kind of shaky, especially in the touchdown department. I think he only threw like 19 touchdowns last year and 7 picks. He gets with Kurt Signetti, who took a team to the CFP last year, an Indiana team that had like something like 18 or 20 transfers from like the Sun Belt Conference and from the MAC. Took Curtis Work from Ohio, not Ohio State, from Green Missile Mike Mitchell, Ohio, and made him a Heisman finalist. And so, he did the same thing this year with Mendoza. Now, I don't think Mendoza is strictly a Kurt Signetti creation. So I think Mendoza is a good player. I think he's a safe pick. I don't think he's ever going to be like bottom 20 player in the league, but I don't think he's ever going to be like top 8-ish. I think he'll nestle somewhere between 9 and like 12-ish, if you get him with a good OC. Like a lot of people compared him to Matt Ryan. That's kind of where I compare him as well. If you look at Dante Moore, he's younger. I think he's a better thrower. I think he's a better passer. I think he has much better ball placement, and he's doing it with worse weapons, and he's doing it with a defensive-minded head coach. Kurt Signetti he's won Coach of the Year 2 years. Nobody in history has won AP Coach of the Year 2 years in a row. Kurt Signetti just did it. So I think Mendoza has all the advantages there, and it's showing up. And he's taking advantage of them, so you don't want to take anything from him. But I think if you look at it, like his production once he changed coaching staffs, like just went through the roof. So that's something that has to be analyzed.
And I will agree to the one statement that you said that Kurt Signetti, he's got to warrant a lot of credit for what he's done, over there in Indiana. And how much is it Kurt Signetti? You're not going to take away a lot from Mendoza. He did a really good job over there without question. Yeah. But you saw what he did with Curtis Rourke, right? And he was able to perform with Curtis Rourke, and just how much is that going to translate to the NFL, kind of without that leadership of Signetti. So we'll see. Chris, any thoughts on Mendoza at this point? Just kind of maybe some of his weaknesses, if you see any.
Yeah. So what I do like about Mendoza, I think pre-snap he's great. I think he knows where he wants to. Like he can see where how the defense is going to try to play him and things like that, at least, from a pre-snap standpoint. I think just in the line of fire a little bit. I mean, he has a great offensive line. I just don't think, if he had a bad line, always under pressure, I think he would take a lot of sacks. But I also just think off script, he's not that good off script. I mean, he shows some talent sometimes, but I just think, you get him in a situation where he's going to be with the Raiders. Now, if he was able to go to another team that's kind of already established, where he can just kind of manage a game, in the beginning until he got his feet wet and start balling. I mean, because honestly, that's what Brady did for the most part. Brady, for his first few years, he was able to kind of manage the game, strong defense, just don't turn the ball over until Brady became Brady and just started balling like crazy. But I just think Mendoza, just his lack of off script ability, and I think he'll struggle with that.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at the offense. I know some people have a criticism of that. The offense, first of all, they have a great running game, a great offensive line. So they're able to lean on that. But then they have the RPO game that he leans a lot on, and he's like
good at it. He's good at it.
He's good at it.
He makes the right decision.
But there's also like a lot of like first read throws where it's like, he's just the first read because of the run action and because of the RPO, he's able to hit his first read. Yeah. Like I forgot what the percentage was. Somebody quoted. So, but that's college. So you can't really hold that against them because that's just the way the college game is played a lot of times. But I have heard that one criticism about him. But yeah, but in terms of like everything Chris said, I think he's great pre-snap. I think his recall, he's a genius. You could tell just genius level intellect. You hear him talk. You hear him like after the game. It's almost like with LeBron, where LeBron will remember like, man, on this play in the second quarter, he did this. Like Fernando Mendoza has the same thing. He'll have this third down throw, and the guy did this, and like he like, man, like you remember with the bullets flying and everything going on, you were able to remember that play. And to that level of detail, that shows you just how like crazy intelligent he is. So I mean, like he's a genius level intellect. I always say this though, like as a quarterback, you have to be able to command respect and demand respect. I think he can command respect through his habits and his work ethic and his knowledge and his, his film study and all that stuff. But when the chips are down, can he go up to a grown man in the NFL and demand his respect? And, like watching some of his interviews, I have some questions. I have some questions about that, right? I have some questions about that.
Yeah.
And that's the only, I guess, the one knock that I can say that I do have on him, and it's just based on what I think everybody else is that they think he's going to be good at is basically his mobility, his ability to scramble in the National Football League. I've had people, honestly, I've seen people compare him to almost like a Lamar Jackson light, almost, to where he can actually get in and move. And I'm just sitting there going, could he maneuver in the pocket, maybe extend some plays? Possibly.
Yeah, he can scoot.
But like maybe you gotta account for him on 3rd and 2s. He might be able to take off and get one here or there, but like, bro, he ain't taking off on 3rd and 9 and getting the first down. Like that's gonna be very rare.
I've been saying his athleticism is underrated because I think he's a better athlete than from what the national media is giving him credit for. I think he's a better athlete than they're giving him credit for. But if there's people out there giving them Lamar comparison, I guess somebody compared him to Josh Allen one time. Like,
I've seen that too.
Come on now.
That's not.
We're not about to do that. We're not about.
Not in the NFL.
But he can hurt you with his legs. He can scramble. He can move. It's almost like a baby giraffe at times. Like it ain't quite.
It ain't pretty.
Right? But he gets the job done. I don't care if it's loud. Look, you get the job done.
Baby giraffe means you can't move,
and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
I'm respecting the baby giraffe.
It's just weird, the baby giraffe legs be wobbly. Hey, but he gets it done. He gets it done. And you gotta respect the legs. You gotta
honestly that's why I've always said like the Alex Smith, man, because Alex Smith is known for his intellect. He's known for just being smart, But Alex Smith was legit fast, so I don't think
Alex Smith had will.
He's not like
Urban had him at Utah.
Bananas. That's what I'm saying. So I think it may not be as fast as him, but even if you go back and watch Alex Smith's tape, man, I mean, you see a lot of similarities. So to me, that's my comp. And if you get him with a good coach, you could have something, but it's going to be some growing pain. Like if we do draft him, of course I'm going to support him, but it's going to be some growing pains, man, until we get a better supporting cast around him.
He needs a strong head coach. He needs like a strong head
coach. Yeah.
What up, Loon? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you popping up in here. LS, I don't care who the Ravens hire. Lamar will never win a Super Bowl. I know
at one time.
Ellis isn't the biggest fan of Lamar. I know he's kind of throwing the overrated comment out there, and I basically said, like, I don't know if I could throw that comment to Lamar just because the amount of times that other players around him have failed him miserably, whether it's Flowers dropping the ball.
The Flowers penalty where they had the Chiefs game won.
Yeah.
And then you got Mark Andrews dropping the ball, stuff like that. It's just and it really wasn't up until they got Derrick Henry when you really thought, man, this team is now put together. This team is going to make the run. And so it really wasn't up until I think the Derrick Henry
that was just
acquisition. Year. I think that's what kind of helped him kind of take the top off. But I think he's done a lot to really help that team. So I'd hate to and that's just my opinion. I don't know if I could throw the overrated card out there with him.
But. Should be 3.
Should be. Should be. Joe Black, Jesse Minter to be more. No, a lot of people are actually tying Jesse Minter a little bit to that the Ravens job. So that'll be very interesting. That'll be interesting.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, Leo. Hey, that the meet and greet was cool, man. Shout out to you. You brought together. You brought together for sure. But the meet and greet was cool, man. A lot of people showed up.
Was Afakasi at that one?
Afakasi has been out here for the last 3.5 years, man. This guy literally has not left back to Australia in forever.
So you've seen Afakasi twice.
I've seen him twice now.
Run down once.
I've never seen one down. Case closed, bro. Case closed.
His rundown.
Case closed. Case closed. It's a wrap.
Man.
It's a wrap.
That's funny. God damn. Yeah, shout out to Afakasi. I think he officially said he's going back. I'm sure I think he's on his way back.
If Afakasi in Vegas, he may never go. He may never leave.
I asked him, like, when you going back? And he goes, honestly, I don't want to go back. And I'm
he may never leave, man.
I know. Raider Hawaii, real quick, man. I saw your comment regarding Flores, and I didn't know that. He basically, the comment basically saying that Flores kind of basically was.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick was saying that he alienated.
Yeah,
he alienated a lot of people there.
Which I didn't know about that. And if that's true, if that report is true, then okay, that's good to know as it relates to kind of potential head coach situation.
I addressed that last night. And that's like I said, like there is context around that as well. So like the people, Ryan Fitzpatrick ain't look, brother, ain't adding the context, dog.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll kind of see how that works out. Raider Des, what's going on, man? Bro, someone brought up that Mendoza can possibly be the next Tim Tebow too. Ooh.
No, not at all.
He's going to be better than Tim Tebow. And I'm a Florida Gator fan. He's going to be better than Tim Tebow. Man. He's got more skill set at the quarterback.
He can throw.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't think Mendoza will be a bust. Will he ever be like an elite QB? That remains to be seen. But I think he'll be like an effective player. I think, I compared him to like a Derek Carr, Alex Smith type guy, like where he never really, he gets talent, but like what's missing, he can't really, but he's a good player, and but you just can't get you over the hump himself.
Yeah. Judo Joe, do you want the Tampa 2 here? I'm gonna tell you right now, I just don't want the cover 3.
I don't. That's coming back though. Like Tampa 2 is.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people are using it. I just don't want the cover 3 as a base defense. Can we just get rid of that first? That'll be the first step in stone.
I want that Vic Fangio. What is Vic Fangio running? He was running like a weird cover 4 type thing, right, or something like that.
It's like a hybrid where he utilizes his safeties extremely well.
Yeah,
Vic Fangio.
He's kind of interchangeable in his.
And he disguises his coverages so well with Vic Fangio. So, yeah, we could definitely get into that for sure at a later date. But he does a very good job of using his safeties, which is impressive.
When you got a lockdown like Quinyon out there, you can do stuff like that.
John Rodriguez. What up, man? You said
got it.
I heard that if Harbaugh's hired, Monken comes with him. I heard Monken is actually going and interviewing for the Cleveland job.
Ooh.
I'm not saying he'll get it, but
that'll be interesting because look, that will be interesting because Monken, you see what he's able to do with Isaiah Likely. You see what he's able to do with Brock Bowers. He gets over there. He got Njoku and Harold Fannin. Oh, man.
Njoku might end. I got to see his contract. I think they might be trying to move on from Njoku.
Yeah, I can see that because he is getting older. Because he's older than I thought he was when I looked it up. He was like, damn, he's that old?
Yeah.
And Harold Fannin is obviously, and Harold Fannin is a dog.
Monster. Yeah, he's going to be a monster.
I thought he should have been a Pro Bowler this year, but, they did him.
So, but it would make all the sense in the world. Harbaugh, Monken, it does make sense. And so we'll kind of see. We'll see how it plays out. It just really depends on where it's going to go. And we're going to talk about the coaches, but there's also already polls going out there, and everybody's basically throwing the percentages of where coaches are going to land. So we'll definitely take a look at that at the end, even if we can get to it, man. I appreciate everybody that's rocking with us. Do us a favor. Double tap that screen. You got LS throwing a super chat out there as well. Do you guys think it's important to have experience at the coordinator position? Would you look past hiring a Brenson Buckner for DC, for example.
That was my guy. That was my guy.
This is line coach, man.
I
love him. Obviously, you know, we went with a legend, you know, and Rod, you know, so Rod is a goat. So I couldn't be too mad at it, but man, I like Brinson Butter. He has those guys playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think it depends on. It depends.
He would get rid of Tyreek. He wouldn't.
Tyreek would have been in a fetal position crying. Like, you know, he would have ripped that kid face off. But like in terms of experience, I think it depends on the head coach. If you have a head coach that's experienced, you can kind of get away with having inexperienced coordinators. We see Sean McVay; he's been kind of cycling through it, you know, younger and inexperienced guys. We see Jesse Minter and Harbaugh. You know, that's a perfect example right there. Harbaugh and Mike McDonald, another prime example right there. So I think you can get away with it if you have a seasoned head coach. And that's almost kind of what we were trying to do a little bit, I guess. Well, not exactly, but the Salah thing. Salah's obviously way more experienced, but we're trying to pair, you know, a guy that can need some seasoning before he becomes a head coach, but get him at coordinator. But, you know, but if you have a young coordinator, ideally you don't have the trifecta all being young guys, where it's like a young head coach, young OC, and a young DC. Like, at least one of them has to be an experienced guy, and you probably wanted the guy with the experience to be the opposite of what the head coach is. So if you have a young offensive minded head coach, you probably want a veteran defensive coordinator, like that kind of deal.
Yeah, Chris, any thoughts? I got my thoughts on that, but go for it if you got something.
I think that for the coordinators, again, you know, like if you are if you're an older head coach or whatever, you can have a younger guy with experience. I mean, honestly, you know, look at Sean Payton, and I know we're gonna probably talk about, you know, Davis Webb. You know, I know he's not necessarily the offensive coordinator, but he's like, you know, shout out to my boy Cam Smooth in the chat, but he's a diehard Broncos fan, and he actually was the first one that kind of got me hip to him. You know, he's almost like they're looking at him like the young whiz kid is kind of like Sean McVay-ish, you know, as far as like how you know, he processes things, super analytical, super innovative, and things like that. So I think that's why, you know, it's interesting that, you know, we're bringing in Vance Joseph, because, you know, my boy Cam was telling me that there was a lot of rumors that if Vance goes somewhere, he's going to bring Davis Webb as his OC. So I think you do got to have that balance. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, Severe was saying, you do got to have that balance. If you're going to have experience on one end, on the other end, you can have a young up and comer, but you don't want everyone, you know, to be brand new. So, you know, if you're going to have a young Kubiak as a rookie and you have a young rookie quarterback, you know, you don't want it across the board, just everyone trying to learn on the fly. So,
and for me, it really is determined whether or not, like, who's your head coach going to be,
right? And
if he is going to be that coordinator of some sort, defense coordinator, offensive coordinator, and then you basically want to have somebody else that is probably going to be young, because the thing is, let's say it's a Kubiak, right, or Matt LaFleur, that's going to be an offensive-minded head coach and is going to be the offensive coordinator. Then you're not going to get another experienced offensive coordinator to come underneath him, right? And so at the end of the day, you're going to get some up-and-comer, maybe some passing coordinator from another team, maybe a quarterback coach from another team, and bring them in as the OC. And so if let's say we go offensive-minded head coach and we go defense, without question, I want somebody with experience. I want somebody that has that experience of basically being that play caller, that's understanding what the moment, what they need to do, and how do you mold it as quickly as possible. Because if we go get ourselves a young quarterback and marry that with a young offensive play caller as a head coach, we're probably going to lean on that defense for the next couple of years.
Exactly.
So get yourself something experienced and go vice versa. Where if you have a defensive-minded head coach, then you know what? You're gonna have to get yourself a a good offensive-minded head coach, or offensive coordinator that's going to be able to groom that young quarterback if you go that route. Because now you got a defensive-minded head coach that's not going to know much about grooming that quarterback. And so it's going to be really interesting to see just kind of how this thing plays out and what route we go, without question. And so, LS, man, I appreciate you doing a super chat out there. You're also saying I haven't watched every game of Mendoza yet, but I think his processing is elite. That even shines through during interviews. He never has to pause and think about what he's going to say. Those people are rare.
I don't want to say processing is elite, but he's like I said, there's a lot of one read throws.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do definitely more research on it. Jason, you're saying Chris is severe great takes. Only add is Kel had a bad offensive line.
Yeah, they had two good running backs. So they had Caden Ott and Jet Thomas.
I didn't know. I got to go back and even watch some of his games at Cal. I'm going to focus obviously more on this year, but I'll probably go watch 2, maybe 3 games of him at Cal just to kind of get a baseline as to kind of how he's grown and his progression. So, all right, we're going to get into this, man. It's been a minute. Raider Primos, what's going on, man? Appreciate you popping up in here. You're saying coming from someone who liked Mendoza, who the heck compares him to Lamar? I don't know. Trust me, I've just seen it on social media, people throwing out there, but obviously we all know people throw some crazy things out there in social media. So
I like him better than Tannehill. Tannehill was legit. Tannehill played receiver in the SEC.
Did he really? I didn't know that. Did he really?
Yeah. He played receiver before he played quarterback. I think he only played quarterback for like a year.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, see, like,
so Mendoza, like his processing is way better than Tannehill's was, in my opinion. I think he throws. Have a strong his arm now because Tannehill had a cannon. People forget that Tannehill had a rocket, but so he's not that. But I think he's been, I think he's a much better thrower about it than Tannehill, especially like being his ability to layer throws. He has some misses, like I said, I think Dante Moore has better ball placement, better accuracy overall, especially in relation to the type of weapons he has, because he doesn't have like super catch radius guys like Surratt or guys that's getting a lot of separation like Becker or Becker or Cooper. But Tannehill, Tannehill's not in the same league as Mendoza, in my opinion.
So one of the guys that usually walks with us, LA Raider, I know from him from back home. He was the first one that kind of threw the comparison of Jared Goff, and then now I started to kind of see people kind of talk about Jared Goff, and I do think Jared Goff is a pretty damn good comparison for Mendoza. So
more mobile, I said like I've heard Matt Ryan. Alex Smith, I think is a good one without like less athleticism, a better thrower.
Man. We'll see. I do think that Mendoza can move better than Goff. I will give him that as well, but I do think you see the arm talent. I do think that it's a pretty good comparison. Again, Mendoza just being a little more mobile from what I can see.
Yeah. Tall guys too, both tall guys.
Yeah, Raider, why you're saying Gruden survived another regime? No Gruden.
I don't know how. Now you're talking
about Deuce.
Oh, Deuce. My bad. Okay, my bad.
I don't know. AJ Neibel and Deuce Gruden. I don't know. These dudes I don't know how they stick around every year. We be having hella injuries every year, and these dudes are the strength and the conditioning coaches, and they still here every year.
He is. Silver and Facts, you're saying, where do you guys think Ty Simpson goes? I think it's tough because I don't even know how many quarterback needy teams will really be in the draft, right? You don't know what's going to happen with Kyler Murray, so it's us and the Jets for the most part.
Yeah.
The Browns. We don't know where the Browns stand.
Yeah, I was going to say the Cleveland Browns could be really the only wild card. You just don't know what they're going to pull off. So, man, depending on how they value him, you could see Ty Simpson. It would be a stretch, but you could go like to the third.
Yeah. I would say second.
Yeah,
I think him and Mateer land in the second. But that last performance was
But the thing though is like if we get a quarterback, if the Jets get a quarterback, and there's no more quarterback like truly quarterback needy teams, then do you pull it on a second, knowing that there's nobody else that's probably going to get a quarterback? Again, got to figure out what's going on with Kyler Murray.
Steelers might. Well, no, they got Will Howard. It depends on how
they got Will Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Will Howard.
But yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. All right. We got to get into this, but I do see another super chat. Again, I don't know who this is from. Whose channels is this?
I don't know. That's not me.
I don't know either. But shout out to you, Ace Boy. I appreciate you. No. What about Rob Leonard?
No, that's me. That's me too.
Okay.
Rob Leonard's DC. Man, I think these guys have kind of run their course, bro. Like those to be their fourth regime if they come back. Yeah. Obviously it will be a promotion for Robbie Leonard. But
I don't think he don't deserve that. I don't think he deserves a promotion. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't think so.
I don't think he does. But you also can't blame because like the thing you would say is like Tyree, like he didn't develop, but it's like it's Tyree. It's like what you expect him to, like what you expect him to do with that? What do you expect him to do with that? I think Tonka looked good. I think Tonka flashed. I think Pegues flashed. Thomas Booker is Thomas Booker. He gonna do Thomas Booker things. I think Adam Butler's looked good. I think Ogalualu. I think he looked good. Snowden 5 times the player Tyree is. So I think Robbie Leonard's done an admirable job. But see, for him to stick around, he'd have to have ties to the head coach, who is the guy that he's worked on the staff for previously, Brian Flores. So so it could be a situation if Patrick Graham gets a DC job somewhere else, and if Robbie Leonard doesn't go with him and Brian Flores gets the job here, maybe he elevates Robbie Leonard to DC. But I don't see that happening.
Yes, Severe. Any thoughts on Robbie Leonard? I mean, Chris. Any thoughts on Robbie Leonard?
Man, you want more?
Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to go through the chat at the same time, man.
Like again, I think Robbie Leonard he's well respected, but I don't think he's done anything to qualify getting promoted to be a DC. It's not like that defensive line just overachieved, anything like that. So I think he will get, other opportunities to be a line coach somewhere else. And he'll eventually be a DC, because I do like his energy. I do like, the what he brings to the table, but he hasn't done anything to prove that he can be a DC as of right now. At least I don't think.
And Isaiah makes a good point. And Ace Boy, I appreciate the super chat. Isaiah brings up a good point. The Rams could very easily take a quarterback. As a project. Second round.
They have what?
They had that kid from Georgia that they don't have anymore.
That's the second Ben is like 33 years old.
That's better.
Yeah. I'm about to say they got Garoppolo over there too.
He's a free agent.
Who? Jimmy G?
Yeah, I think he's on a 1-year deal, so he's a free agent. So
okay.
It is a sleeper team. You got to watch out for.
And they got an extra first-round pick because Atlanta. I think Atlanta still is happy with that trade because I think they picked James Pierce with that pick. James Pierce.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't think they're mad at that pick, but they paired Jalen Walker and James Pierce. Their defense is gonna be good.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be nice. Yeah, eventually.
Less.
We save a lot of money. Child size polo shirts.
Yeah, bro. Them shirts be spray painted on, man.
I will say I went live yesterday. I got just a small back and forth with a guy that basically tried to tell me that Thomas Booker was better than Adam Butler, and I was like, I know you're a troll at this point. You got to be a troll at this point.
Oh wow! So, I wish I would have saw your face when he said that. That was just like, funny.
I had to just scroll past. That's what I had to do. I can't rock it.
It's been walking the strip all over.
Right. Exactly. All right. Appreciate everybody rocking. Double tap that screen. We're not going to take a whole lot. Yeah.
Reese Rock said the Vikings may look at a quarterback.
If JJ keeps
I told people about JJ McCarthy. And I like to thank JJ McCarthy because that's how I really start rocking with Chris. I brought Chris on the show.
Yeah.
Just so he could tell people that JJ McCarthy was ass. Because I kept hearing JJ McCarthy, man. If he might be QB1. You see what he all he does is win. They see at IMG Academy where they paid players essentially in high school. Like he won there. Then he got to Michigan where they had the best team and they was cheating. He won there. So like now he great. And now he get to the league and he's where's Jeff at? He's hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
Hey,
Actually, you know what? Actually, we got to make an announcement. 805 is no longer hot dog water. We started calling him hot dog water because of Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish is balling. He's balling.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. God,
you're no longer hot dog water. You're not.
Yeah, for right now, trust me, that name will come back. It will haunt me on my YouTube
hot link
days.
water. We got the oil in there after you poke them when you cook.
Shit. Okay, time to piss some people off. We're gonna go over just a little bit of game film. That's it, and then we are gonna go over. We're gonna go over all the head coaching candidates, the ones that are linked to us, and we're talking about John Harbaugh in just a minute. God damn it! See, it's here. It's here. God damn it, Jeff. So, all right, Raiden in the building. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody. Hey, I appreciate all the subscribers, the super chats, the members, everything. Definitely appreciate everybody rock with us. We're gonna go over a little bit of game film, just kind of give you an idea. This is what we do. Where we do it after every single game, but in the off season, we're gonna go over free agents. We're gonna go over draft prospects. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna break down the game film just so we have a better idea of who the players are and just kind of be better prepared for the upcoming draft and free agency. And so, we're gonna share this up a little bit. All right. I'm going to just preface this, right? Obviously, there was a lot that was going on defense, but you go back and look at the game film. Tyree had a hell of a game, but guess what? You're going against a third string off the tackle.
I was about to say.
All right. Even though I got a little bit of a back and forth with the guy about Thomas Booker. He thought Thomas Booker literally was like a top 5 player on our team. It was wild. But you go back and look at the film. Thomas Booker actually had a decent game. You go and look at what he was going up against. He was going up against the backup center that was playing guard that day. It's just
right,
like you got to put things in perspective.
Right.
And so as much as I wanted to, showcase some of Tyree and stuff, and to go back and look, Tyree literally just speed rushed off the edge all day long. That's all he did to that guy.
He got pushed into a safety. The running back literally chipped him and pushed him outside of the tackle and helped him get a safety. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. That was next level tanking.
It was. And hey, Tien, you're saying Colts made it a quarterback too. If they don't, yeah, you're right. If they don't re-sign,
ACL kind of late. Or is it Achilles late? Achilles, right? The Achilles kind of late. So
yeah. So yes, Leo, Tyree. I want to give him a little bit, just give him a little bit of love, but at the same time, you go look at that. It's like, God damn, he's still one-dimensional Tyree, unblocked Hall of Famer. That's what he is. Whatever.
He did get the one over. Was that the Chiefs game where he got the one where he actually beat somebody?
Yeah, the Chiefs game. Yeah.
Okay. Was it the game before?
The game before, I think he had a tackle for loss. I think, but I think he had another. Yeah, he went to the second move.
Actually beat somebody. I was like, all right, Tyree, I see you, big dog. Hey, we still get your ass up out of here, but good job.
So. Look, at the end of the day, we're not going to look at any defense. We're just going to look at Genty. And here's the reason why we're going to look at Genty is because obviously you guys know how we've kind of broke down Genty's game film throughout the entire season. I will tell you, going through this game film, it's without question the best blocking Genty has seen all season long. I mean, he had 26 carries. Now, the 26 carries, I counted 13 carries that he was untouched to the second level. It's the best blocking he got all season long. And unfortunately, he was only able to rip off, I think, 86 yards. And we're going to showcase some things. He made some good cuts, stuff like that. But at the same time, as much as if we draft a quarterback at number 1, we're going to still hold the same standard as you being drafted at number 1. So with Genty being drafted at number 6, we're going to hold that same standard.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're going to go through. There's only about 8 plays. That's about it. We're going to go through these. But also at the same time, not on this one. This is earlier in the game, but Charles Grant got definitely the majority of the play.
Tristan Wirth Grant.
Here we go.
Orlando Pace reincarnate. Come on, baby. He was out there cooking. That young man was in his gumbo pot. He had the Zatarans, the whole. He had the look.
We're got to hear this all off season. 805. All off season. We're got to hear this.
All off season.
He's not going to want us to draft. He's not going to want us to draft the lineman.
Y'all better lock in. Look, I may join Turf on this crusade to get rid of Cody Miller. I may join it. I might hop on this.
Oh shit! Hey, look. Yes. Leo. See, Leo knows. If he says I'm counting. Bet you damn right. What up, Rundown in the building? What's going on, brother?
Damn.
Hey, Rundown. He brings his running gap game. He brings his running back game. So we're gonna break down Genty a little bit and let us know if you agree or disagree. And so look, as the reason why we break this thing down is because everybody says you give this kid good blocking, he's gonna go off. He's gonna pop off. He's gonna do his thing, right? So we'll take a look at just how well he did with some really good blocking in front of him against the Kansas City Chiefs. And so this is good blocking. This is actually a good cutback by Genty. And so it's basically a little bit of an inside zone to, I believe this one's to the left. Does a good job. Cutting back. We'll definitely give it to him. I'll run it all the way through. Got the end zone view as well. Finds the cutback lane. Does a good job. I'll go back one more time to the sky view, but got to look. I mean, this was the blocking he was receiving the majority of the game. Good blocking.
Rogers, Glaze. Good job. Arkham
out there. Yeah,
Arkham out there.
He like, I got some second unit guys. Oh, I'm about to.
Now, again, one thing I noticed, you still got the starting linebackers. You got Bolton. You got Tranquil out there. Now, Chris Jones, he was more of a rotational piece, kind of going in and out, right? So he did get some play here and there, but majority of the time, you did see quite a bit of backups. And that's why it actually helped out Genty see just more running lanes this game. So the question is, how well can Genty do with actual good running games? Because he is still that starting running back, number 6 overall. So we'll get the end zone view. You see you see it open up, man. You want to make sure that when the O-line does your job, Genty, you got to do yours as well. Good cutback. Definitely give it to him.
Yeah.
Hold on, go back one more time. Did
end zone view?
Yeah, I just want to see what did Besh get to his block late.
Okay, so that's one thing I saw. So
yeah, man,
I think it's more of Besh actually trying to get out of Genty's way. You see it better here, so he's at the top of the screen. I think he's trying to get to the block, and then he sees Genty. He tries to get out of Genty's way.
Man. I don't know. I don't know, man. Go hit that guy. Genty's still running, man.
Yeah,
let's run down the boy.
Yeah.
So
that's Puka Nakua. I was told. Who got ragdoll? My God. Was that Genty getting done like that? I didn't miss that. Dang, I didn't see the tackle.
At the tail end? Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the plays. That was a play. Was this the game where they picked him up at the
on the sideline? I got it. Yeah.
Like now I'm making the backfield. Like these two guys like lifting them into the air.
I think that was last game.
They did on the sideline too. They straight just tossed him to the sideline too.
Like a child. I was like, this is crazy.
I mean, he's 5'8". But I think Besh tried. I think he tried to get out of Genty's way, but we'll leave it up to the chat and everybody else.
Let him
live. Again,
he did Surtain so dirty that we'll stall him out.
Right.
Charles Grant. You guys take a look at Charles Grant.
Jonathan Hopkins. Look at that. Flip them hips too.
So definitely want to showcase Charles Grant. Take a look at him. Does a really good job getting his hips inside. But again, this is just another example. 26 carries, but you got yourself. Genty's basically untouched after 7 yards. Find himself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In hole. I mean, untouched. This was a good portion of the game for him. And we wanted to see what Genty could do with good blocking. That's what he had.
Look at Brendan Carroll getting his guys going. Now that Chip Kelly going, baby. What I'm talking about. Go ahead, Brendan.
So one more time, Charles Grant on this side. Again, we just got to see what Charles Grant has.
Only took him like 8 weeks to.
What up, John? I see you, man.
All right,
again, Charles, guys, if you guys have a comment, anything towards the play, definitely hit that hashtag Raiders. Let me know. We'll do one more, or just one more, and then we're going to get into some interesting stuff. Again, another really good example. This is the blocking that he received. So what can Genty do with good blocking? We got to have an example.
What an amazing block. Oh, Charles Grant.
Charles Grant.
Oh, my goodness. This guy's stud.
Wait, hold on. Go back.
We're going to go back to here, hold up.
I guess.
Charles Grant sealing it off.
Yeah.
Now look,
baby. Look at what the dude is lined up. He's lined up at slot corner. Like, what you want Charles to do right there?
Yes, man.
Dude is lined up at slot corner right now in a 3-point stance.
This is what I want. I want to kind of for everybody kind of notice, and we've seen this all season long, is that Genty prefers to just put his head down, try to run people over.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't score any touchdowns this game. You're inside the red zone, right? You have a perfect lane to run through. You're one-on-one with the safety. Make this man miss and score a touchdown. We had to settle for a field goal on this. And so even though you have good blocking in front of you, you also have to take over the game yourself as well. Once the O-line does its job. And the end zone view, you see a better take on it. But at this point right here, you're one-on-one with the safety.
Yeah, man.
Make this man miss, walk your ass in the end zone. That's what we want. But you decide to just lower the helmet and run him over.
That's a running back's dream.
Oh,
that's running back's dream.
Here's the end zone view.
You're running back.
You'll see it.
Caliber tackle of Charles Grant. You get that kind of lane.
All season, Chris.
All season, man.
All season. I better be ready. Just be ready for it.
It's not going to stop.
This is it. You're one-on-one. The whole. I mean, this is massive, right? You see it. You're one-on-one with 6. You're seeing that goal line. Make the move and score. But we had to settle for 3.
That's
because he wants to run him over.
God.
I'll play it all the way through. Like, that was his goal. I'm going to run you over, but, man, get your ass in the end zone. Get a 6, not settled for 3.
For the record, Michael Mayer he helped with that block. You know what I'm saying?
He did. Charles didn't need it. You know,
okay.
Michael Mayer came in late to the group project and just put his name on it.
He just put his name on
the project was done.
Hey, so Gotham, if you've ever rocked with us in the past, I've seen you here. We do it like this because YouTube doesn't like it. If we go vertical, if we try to make the screen bigger, they'll basically freeze they'll shut the live down. So we can't do it. This is how we got to rock out in order to do it live consistently like we do. And so
facts rundown. Look, that was that ain't Brendan Carroll. That was Spytex film sessions with the offense. That was.
That is insane. That is insane.
All right. Okay, here we go. For everybody that you've rocked with us before in the past, we break down game film. We want to know, one, how Genty will do when he finally has some blocking. Okay. We're showcasing just a little bit. Again, there was about 13 plays where he had good blocking, untouched to the second level. You want him to kind of do his thing. We've also showcased plenty of time. Now, I guess the one caveat I will say, one caveat to it is that Kenny Pickett's in the game. The safeties are crowding the line of scrimmage. It did make it a little bit harder, right? You get better quarterback play. It's going to push the safeties back. So it creates a little bit more opening for Genty to work. So I will throw that out there. But Genty is not good in open space. We've shown it probably a dozen times now all season long that he struggles to operate in open space, and he constantly cuts back into trouble. I'm going to showcase this. It's a little bit of a draw play, and you guys be the judge. By the chat, a little bit of draw play.
Yeah.
I'll show the end zone view, and we'll go back. Look, this is the difference between Genty and getting, 86 yards? 86 yards and possibly 130.
Yeah.
And there's another play I'm going to showcase, but and just show. But I'll pause it. You have the sideline. What you could do, and again, this is about setting up the blockers, setting up the defenders. You can press to the inside of your left tackle, force the defenders to freeze, maybe pull down just a little bit. Bang, you just bounce and take the seam. That's it. Bounce and take the seam all day long. Yeah. But you decide to cut back into the defenders, and he's got enough experience. Like you don't have the vision. This has been an issue. Is the vision that Genty has? I think he's either not adjusting well to the speed of the NFL, or He gained way too many bad habits at Boise, thinking he could just run through every single defender, and didn't allow his natural vision to take over. We'll go through one more time. But man, cut left, bang, go take it, but you want to cut back into trouble.
Yeah. And Boise probably a touchdown though. Boise probably breaks 3-4 tackles.
Right,
it's goals.
For sure.
You're like, oh.
So it's tough to watch. I'll be honest. Now I'm going to point this one out as well. Again, did you guys do me a favor? Hit that hashtag Raiders. If you guys got a comment, I see. Let's see. Omega. I just can't imagine Bijan cutting left and taking that to an extra 10. So here's what Bijan would do. This is a good example of what you'd like to see at a number 6 overall pick, right? He doesn't have the quickness of James Cook. He doesn't have the quickness of a Devon A-Chain. He doesn't have the quickness of a Bijan Robinson, right? And this is where it's going to hurt him if he doesn't have the vision to kind of process it quickly enough. Let's see. LS, you got Genty is 55th in terms of yards. Carrying in clips like this show everybody why. And we've been showing it all season long. It's not just nitpicking one or two. It's all season long. Every single game he has opportunities. That means you can't critique Genty. Raider Nation will call you a hater. That is very true.
Oh, yeah.
Very true. And just so we're very clear, and you guys have heard us say it all the time, doesn't mean he can't improve. Doesn't mean that he can become better and learn in the offseason and become a better running back. We're just showing what he is showing today and what we want to see him improve on.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Because when you're not a home run hitter like that, like vision is going to have to be a superpower for you. It's going to have to be because you're not. I mean, and that's one thing that makes Josh Jacobs so good is because he got the instincts and the vision.
Yeah.
So even though he can't hit home runs all the time, he's gonna get you a lot of 20-yard gains, 25-yard gains because he can make guys miss. He just may not be able to take it to the crib.
Yeah. And Rishi Rock, another one. Jahmyr Gibbs, another. Very quick. Running back. So were you gonna say something?
Nah, I won't say Genty. He may have to drop some weight. To and maybe that he's never gonna be a burner. But I think he drops some weight. That might help him with his quickness a little bit because I think he's just too heavy. And,
see, the only thing with that is just his running style is he wants contact. So it's like he can't afford to lose weight, honestly. Because you saw – I mean, remember the very first hit he took in preseason? He had to go to the 10.
Yeah, he goes to 10,
He had to go to the 10. So –
yeah, man. It's like, he's not as quick as the best rookie running back in the league, Travion Henderson. Who would have said that? Who would have said that?
Money Make, he said, like I said, he's got his wow moment of how fast these guys are. He will get it next year. I have faith. And look, I think we all hope that he will definitely get it.
Yeah.
And so, Cheeto, you're saying here's the thing: he needs work on the vision and open field cuts and movement. He does. What up, SoCal?
Sometimes that's like either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, that's the worry.
Yeah. That's the worry. You got it, it's instinctual.
You can't teach instincts. You can't teach vision. You either got it or you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's that's
feel for the game. It's just, and like you said, it could be a situation. He's built up so many bad habits that he can't get out of it.
John, man, we're going to talk about the head coaches just right after this. Again, I only have a few more. Don't worry. We're not diving too deep into the game film. The only reason why I'm doing it is because Genty actually had good blocking this game. And the question is, what can he do with it? And so I'm showcasing some things. Now, again, to kind of go back to this one, good blocking, but Genty doesn't kind of possess the skill set to be that quick, shifty runner. And so and that's why I think he's better in the power run scheme. And so depending on who the next offensive coordinator is going to be, who's going to be running the offense, I would prefer to see Genty behind a more power based run scheme. But again, the Devon A-Chains, the Jahmyr Gibbs, the Bijans, these guys make this cut. So it's basically an inside zone to the right side. And man, if he possessed the quickness and the ability to make the cut, he could work this way all the way back to the backside. And I actually just saw James Cook do it. James Cook's a good example. James Cook can make that cut to the backside. He gets himself lateral to the line of scrimmage, and then he basically has leverage on the corner and can kind of get to that outside. So it's, again, inside zone to the right side.
Oh, yeah. Bounce, one more bounce.
Just and with the vision, you will see that Michael Mayer actually has leverage on this on the edge player. And if Genty just kind of has the vision, you bounce this thing. I understand there is a hole there. I get it. But, God, you bounce this thing one more time.
Because he's looking dead at 27. Like, right there. Right, you put your foot in the ground, bounce one more. Because you see, look, Tyler Lockett is in position. Michael Mayer is in position.
You got to anticipate that. You got to anticipate that.
He can shit. It look like he's looking dead at him.
And he's his head down. He's got the room to just bounce that one more time, because that's what the zone run scheme is, right? You continue to work your way down, and there it is. You bounce this thing one more time, you're one-on-one with that corner, and that's the matchup we want.
Yeah.
And as a running back in a zone scheme, that's what you want. You want that cutback lane to where you are one-on-one with the corner. You don't want the cutback lane to one-on-one with the linebacker. That's not the goal. Exactly. The cutback is one-on-one with a corner, and if they give you that cutback, you take it every single time. And unfortunately, he just doesn't possess either the instincts, the vision. Also, he just doesn't. He's not the quick type of running back to be able to get there in time.
And keep in mind, if we get Kubiak, this is the kind of run scheme he's going to bring.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Genty be doing, oh, you got me too much. Like, oh, it's just like, nah, bro, just like, don't just lower your shoulder and, think you can run over somebody. Like, oh, you got me. I'm just going to, bro, just like bounce that thing to the outside,
Yeah.
Like his most recent big run was essentially him doing that, bouncing to the outside against the Texans and getting that huge run.
Yeah. And again, that's good blocking.
Yeah,
that offensive line did a very good job of blocking. They basically pushed, they washed everybody down to give them that final cutback lane to the corner. And again, you one-on-one with the corner is what we want all day, every day.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. Let's see. This one, a simple inside zone to the right-hand side. Again, just kind of going through some of the chats. MC, what's going on, brother? Good seeing you in here, man. Raiders, this has caused my diabetes. We're gonna turn this thing around, big dog. I hope so. Nice. Hey, Genty will be good, just not 6 overall good.
Yeah.
And we all feel that. That's what we all have been saying. Like, we don't think he's gonna be bad. It's just that 6 overall pick, man. You're always gonna be judged by that.
Yeah,
you are 100%. That's why Tyree. If you got Tyree in the 6th round, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Tyree will always be judged at that 7th overall pick.
Exactly. I think that we do need a compliment to Genty in the backfield, a speedier guy.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an inside zone to the right. I'm going to play this all the way through. And again, we've seen this multiple times. I think what's really difficult is you watch Genty's footwork, and he's supposed to be that bowling ball, that guy that's going to basically fall forward for yards, right? We saw it coming out of the end zone at times. We've seen it in short yardage situations.
Okay, Charles Grant.
I wasn't going to get there yet, Chris. God damn it. But watch Genty watch Genty gather his feet in the backfield again. He gathers his feet. He gets laterals with his feet. He basically plants both feet on the ground. He loses complete momentum, and he's just not going to be able to kind of get that push in the line of scrimmage that you want him to be, like you want him to do. And we've seen this again on the safety that he had against the Cowboys, I believe it was, in short yardage situations where you want him to be that guy that's going to be the guy in short yardage. But watch his feet gather at the line of scrimmage. He just loses all momentum.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, is he just scared to get into the line of scrimmage? I hate saying it, but you almost curl up in the line of scrimmage, which, again, that's why he struggles in short yardage at times.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that acceleration to get back up to max speed.
Come on, big CG. Big CG.
Okay, here we go. Charles Grant. Again, we're looking at Charles Grant as well.
Big CG out there. Repping.
This guy.
Look
at him.
Repping. Look at this man. Look at this. Look at him.
Look at this.
Look at this. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself off the ground.
You got Charles Grant right here. Does a good job. Gets his hips in position. Where, in my opinion, where he wins this rep is right at the snap. Watch the position.
Look how quick. Look, he about to run over. Who's that? Mafia, but that's Mafia though, so I can't say. It's just
it's Mafia.
It's Mafia. I can't say, but yeah, right off the snap.
Yeah, I mean, he wins this rep right at the snap, which is perfect. He leads. A lot of times, linemen will take that false step where they basically will try to anchor with the opposite foot first, which you lose time, and then they'll lead. Then they'll move with the play side foot with the right foot. What he does a very good job of is that right foot moves first, which allows him to cross the 3-tech's face. He's able to cross them. And get good position, and this is no slouch right here. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I don't think this is Chris Jones. My bad.
That's not. I don't think it's Chris. Is that Karlaftis?
So, overall, good technique. Really good job by Charles Grant. Definitely want to see that because look, we're going to rely on some of these players going into next year.
Yes, sir.
So. We got just a few more, but again, guys, buckle up for this one. All right, if you guys see anything in the chat, let me know. We got Raider Smoke in the building, man. Appreciate you throwing a super chat out there, man.
Hold on, man. It's my boy.
What up, Dre? Dre in the building as well, man. So, LS, I want answers on who really won that man.
I need a tell-all book.
We know who it was. We know it was, man. Like Spy Tech was snitching, but he wasn't snitching. He's like, man, you want to build this the right way. Like I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're saying, Spy Tech. I know exactly what you're saying. Say less. Say less.
Houston from LA, you're saying it sounds like you guys speak from experience, but I'm wondering why the negativity on Genty. It's not negativity. It's just showing you what we see on tape. So don't take it as negativity. It's literally just showing you what's on tape. He led all rookie running backs in yards this year with a terrible offensive line.
He led them all with attempts as well.
He was the only running back. He was the only running back that was the featured back. Everybody else, like Quinton Junkins, was probably the closest to having a featured role, but he also didn't play for 4 games.
Yeah.
Genty beat Travion by 64 yards. Travion didn't start a game until like week 6 or 7. And he was in a committee system with 3 backs for the beginning of the year, and with him and Ramondre Stevenson for the rest of the year. So I don't know where this he led all of them. Yeah, obviously, like if I shoot 1,000 shots and you shoot 100, I'm gonna make more than you. Like that's not a tell of who's the better shooter. So I mean, I think that and I think you put in other comments like, oh, we still got other guys later on. So isn't it? No, it's still a bad pick. Just because you mitigate how bad it is by making up for it with a good draft or getting some solid players later on,
gotta isolate.
There's still the opportunity cost of what you could have done with that pick, right? Like if I lose $1,000, but then I find like 300 later on, like I still lost 1,000. I still lost a G. Like this don't change that fact. Like you can't
So. And look, even outside of just Genty's performance, just picking a running back at number 6, there's a lot of reasons why. It honestly, the biggest reason, at least for me, one of the biggest reasons is the fact that there's a really good chance. You see what happened with Josh Jacobs. If you pick somebody at number 6, you want them to literally wear the silver and black for the rest of their career and be one of the best to ever do it in the silver and black. Free agent running backs don't warrant that type of pay. If he does well, he might go off and want to get his bag. And the thing is that a lot of teams don't pay running backs. So you may or may not keep him for the remainder of his career. He might walk after 4, possibly 5 years if you don't pick up the 5th-year option. So I think that's where, again, that's just one of many reasons why I'm not a fan of picking a running back at number 6. I even struggle picking a running back in the first round. Again, for a lot of reasons. But again, we're not being haters, or we're just
hey, we honestly just have to embrace it. They're always going to think we're haters.
Yeah.
At this point, we just got to embrace it.
Because and this is what I say. Every criticism, every excuse you make as to why Genty didn't play well, or why he didn't produce as good as these other guys, or why he only averaged 3-point-something yards per carry. Every excuse you make for him is the reason why he shouldn't have been drafted at 6. So you're just furthering my argument. So, this guy had Drake May. Okay, yeah. Well, then maybe we should have drafted a quarterback at 6. Oh, this guy had a better offensive line. Then maybe we should have drafted offensive line at 6. Well, this guy had weapons. They're taking the safeties out of the box. Maybe we should have drafted Tetaroa and drafted a running back later. Like, your excuses only further solidify he shouldn't have been the pick at 6.
Severe cooking.
There you go. And so, what up, Darth Maul? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you rocking out in here. Okay. And with that being said, again, the reason why we're only showcasing this, and look, there was a lot of backups playing on Sunday, right? But this was the best opportunity for Genty to showcase what he would look like if he had good blocking, because he actually had good blocking in front of him at least 50% of his carries this game. And it only resulted in 86 yards rushing. And so, as a number 6 overall pick, you want to see a lot more in that. And here's another play. I just showcased a play that was in open space. You got Genty out here. All right. This is going to be a quick little tunnel screen, a quick little wide receiver screen. He's lined up as the number 1. And what Genty needs to identify when he gets the ball thrown to him right here, he needs to identify his nearest threat. He's got to have the vision to catch. He's got to see the ball, but he also has to see where the defender is playing his lead blocker here. And I want you guys, we're going to run this all the way through. This is Genty's opportunity.
He went inside, didn't he? I think this one he went inside.
We're going to watch it.
If I remember right. Yeah.
I'll show the end zone view as well. You need to catch the ball with your vision still understanding where the defender's leverage is. Right, and you got to make sure that you take that seam away from the nearest threat. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. All right, right now the corner's backed up. The corner's playing off. That's perfectly fine. So this is the only matchup you're concerned with. If this guy goes out, then you're gonna go in. If this guy commits inside, you're gonna go out. So you have to have that vision at the same time through the catch. And so, again, if you want to be an elite running back, if you want to be that threat, this is what you have to possess. And so at the catch, he hesitates. He actually goes inside just slightly. And when you go in zone view, you got the sideline. It's instant. I'll pause it. Bang.
Yeah.
It's the sideline.
Put that ball in the outside hand, give him a stiff arm, and let's go.
It's not like you got 3 yards to the sideline. You literally have 10 yards of sideline to work with. So the moment you catch, your eyes go downfield, you see and feel that defender go inside, you now know you are only one-on-one with that corner based on how the defense was aligned pre-snap.
Yeah.
And you take the sideline. Like, this is the difference between I mean, this play right here is bad, okay? But this is the difference between what could be good, but also what is elite and what's great.
Yeah.
The James Cooks, the Bijan Robinsons, the Christian McCaffreys, those guys, they're planting, they're going outside right out the box.
Yeah.
And this is the problem we've had all season. Again, hopefully Genty learns. Hopefully he can improve in the offseason. But this right here is the difference between bad and good and elite.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody can disagree with this, to be dead honest. Because in the chat, let me know. Let me know if we're assessing this incorrectly. Because I'll tell you right now, this is what he needs to do to be able to be elite in this game, is take advantage of these opportunities here. We're going to show it one more time through. You just... Oh, man. D. Hurth. I've heard that.
Trent Richardson had a better rookie year than Ashton Genty.
Facts.
With less games.
Yeah. So we got just one more. Hold on.
And look, and they traded him for a first round pick to the Colts. So they was able to recoup. They was able to recoup resources on him.
Sure did.
So this is a little bit of a power run blocking. Again, showcasing good blocking for Genty. Good blocking. You got it.
Yeah, man, you can't.
Okay, you're one-on-one, but good. Broke the tackle. He ran through the guy. Great. But here's the thing, this is the habit that Genty has. He wants to just run people over. And this is why, even when he has good blocking, I think this is what we're going to see. We're not going to see this great elite running back, but he could be consistent. Yeah, he might have a good average. He might eclipse that 100-yard. Once we get a good offensive line, he might find himself getting, 110 yards, 115. But he's not. I don't think he's going to find himself again, unless he improves, being that elite running back.
Running back one for that. Can you do the end zone view?
Yeah.
I just want to see my guy. I just want to see my guy.
Hey,
Trent Williams Grant. I just want to see my guy one-on-one. One-on-one.
Hey, Besh did his thing too.
Besh did his
thing too.
He did a good job.
I mean, you can't ask for better blocking for.
That's very good blocking. And don't get me wrong, it's a good run by Genty. Don't get me wrong, but
it is. Yeah, it is
a good run. Yeah.
The thing is that what we've seen all season long is that he prefers to basically run somebody over as opposed to make a move and try to be that home run hitter. And I think this is what we're going to continue to see, unfortunately, but again, hopefully we improve on it. I see Jonathan Studios in the building. All right, hold on. LS Trent Richardson, 950 yards, 11 TDs, and the 3.1 per clip in his rookie year. I don't even know how good his offensive line was.
Bad. Because he was what? He was drafted with like 5th overall or something, or something like that, or 3rd overall. So yeah, I mean, Browns, they always have a bad line, and he did that in 15 games.
So Jonathan, you're assessing it incorrectly. 76 had blocked somebody. Genty had 5 lanes to rip yards, but because the right guard blocked nobody, Genty had to stutter to try to get. I think you're talking about maybe the one where he stopped his feet.
Probably.
That's what I'm guessing. Okay, that's fine. I'm pointing it out because we've seen it in the past multiple times, where when he gets into basically a pile of trouble, he stops his feet. We saw it with the safety, and it sucks because I didn't have a great angle, but then I sent an angle to Chris and Severe showing it literally directly from the back of the end zone, and it looked horrible.
It did.
He saw a defender coming. He stopped his feet in the end zone, and that was the safety. It was bad. So that's the only reason why I'm showing that, is because we've seen it multiple times now, where he stops his feet in the backfield and he stops his momentum. Yes, Severe.
Let him know. Let him know, Dre. Let these people know. On an island. It's Grant Island.
Here we go, man.
Grant Island. Let these people know. Henceforth, it's what we call it.
It's gonna be a long off season, bro.
Cooking.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Severe.
This man is cooking like a Missouri barbecue pit. This man is cooking.
But again, for Genty, there's a good bounce outside. We showed a good run previous, but again, this is probably the best example we could get with Genty getting some good blocking in front of him fairly consistently throughout the entire game. And so this is the last play. This is Genty. It's good bounce outside. Way to make a man miss. And so I'll take that, right? You see the cutback. Again, make a man miss.
I already know what Severe looking at.
I know.
I already know Severe.
I know. This guy.
Somebody check the criminal record of this 97 fella.
He's not even
Grant got this dude in handcuffs. Grant got this. He had to have some felonies because Grant got this man in handcuffs. Locked up. It's a wrap. I ain't looking at Genty. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about Genty.
Oh man.
I like that. I like that move. That's a nice move. That's what I want to see. That was a nice move by Genty right there. That's what I want to see.
We'll give him his flowers whenever he has it. 100%.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Make a guy miss and get some extra yardage. Don't don't just he got me. Oh, see, bam. Oh, that's Tyler Lockett getting a little close there. Could have got a penalty, but nice move. Nice move. Get outside, man. Yeah, I sure ain't. It's okay. You already know, bro. I ain't right. I'm watching the future. The future. We're going to have to get a DNA test. Trent Williams, bro, come on down. Is this your son? Is this your kid?
Your son.
We getting Mario on the line.
Gotham, are you pointing back to what was that, week 2 when Genty broke Derwin James' ankle?
Talking about the spin move.
That was week 2 though, right?
Yeah, it was week 2. Yeah,
you're going all the way back to week 2.
We're at that game.
You're pointing back to all the way to week 2, where you want to show an example. Yeah. There have been trust me, we've shown there have been good plays. Genty's he's shown some good plays, and we've shown it.
We show every carry.
Few and far between.
That play. We went over that play.
It's few and far between. There's more bad than there is good with Genty. And again, yes, bad offensive line. Yeah. But when Genty has opportunity, when he's in open space, he doesn't take advantage of it. Point blank, period. We've showcased it plenty.
See, but that's what people will do will say, oh, you can't judge him off of this play, or you can't judge him off of that, because it is. But that one play where Genty made a spin move, that's who Genty is. Like the other 87 plays be damned. Did you see that time that he made that move on that guy? That one time, that's him. That's who he like. No, bro, it don't work like that. You are what you consistently do, and he consistently doesn't make people miss. Can he improve on that? He's a rookie. I'm assuming he can improve. I'm hoping against hope that he can improve. You get Charles Grant in this corner. Now you're cooking.
We're done. We're done. We're done.
Man.
No more.
Get this.
No more game film. All right,
let's talk about coaches, man.
We're gonna talk about coaches. All right, guys. Hey, that's the end of it. That's the end of this season's game film. Again, didn't showcase a lot. The only reason why I put it up down there because of the fact that Genty did have some really good, some good blocking this game, and wanted to kind of see what could he do with it. We showed some bad, all right, but there was some good. So we'll see just kind of how he improves as time goes on. Yes, Dixon. We're moving on. Now what's great is we can break down some game film with some prospects as well as some free agents, so that's going to be fun as well. So we'll definitely break that thing down. Appreciate everybody. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button. We definitely appreciate everybody. We're going to talk about some head coaches. Let's talk about some head coaches.
Brandon, oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Ellis, is it better? It's a better line than we had, but Richardson also saw more stacked boxes due to Whedon being the starting at quarterback. Oh, yeah, Whedon, dang, and Josh Gordon being the leading receiver at 800 yards.
Yeah, he brought up who the Browns' offensive line was. They actually were pretty decent because they had Joe Thomas and Alex Mack and Schwartz. They had a couple guys.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Appreciate everybody. Double tap that screen. Hit that sub button if you want to get included in the chat because we're going to talk about coaches. All right. So we're going to bring up we're going to focus on all the coaches that have been tied to interviews so far, but then we're going to end it off with obviously a coach that was released yesterday and everybody's talking about him. So, but the first one that we're going to start out with is Patrick Graham. All right, Patrick Graham is now being tied. Obviously, I think we're going to be all the coaches in the building. Who knows what Deuce Gruden? But everybody in the building is going to be obviously, I think, let go. I think Patrick Graham is going to be out the building. There's no reason why he'd stay, especially with the Robert Saleh reports. But everybody, let me know what your thoughts on Patrick Graham. You happy that he's out the building? Do you think that he's going to get a DC job somewhere else? Chat, let me know. Hit that hashtag Raiders. We'll definitely try to pull it up. But Chris, I'll throw it to you first, man. Thoughts on just Patrick Graham? Him leaving the building. Do you think he's going to get another DC job? What's your thoughts?
To be honest, yeah, I mean, he is leaving for sure. I think he probably wishes he would have left last year. He had, I know he had some head coaching interviews, but I'm sure they were just kind of going through the motions with that. But, I respect PG. I'm not one of those guys that thinks that he's, like salute to my boy Turf. He thinks that PG will be a head coach one day. I don't see it. I think he's a respectable head coach, you know, but I don't think he'll ever be top tier. You know, I wish him well. To be honest, if he does get another head coach, if he does get another defensive coach or defensive coordinator opportunity this year, it'll probably be based on just a relationship he has with somebody, you know, just someone that he's worked with in the past. But I can't see him being a hot name of, you know, someone that a coach want to bring in, especially a rookie coach.
Yeah, Severe thoughts on Patrick Graham?
I mean, I actually like Patrick Graham. You know, I just think he's been in an unfortunate spot. You know, he should have probably left, you know, a long time ago, because coming off of the job he did with the Giants. Remember, he was with the Dolphins as a defensive coordinator. Then obviously everything happened there with them, and then he goes to the Giants and joins Joe Judge, and he's the defensive coordinator there. And then obviously Joe Judge gets fired, and they hire Brian Daboll. And Brian Daboll, it was reported at the time that, you know, Brian Daboll wanted Patrick Graham to stay. He wanted him to stay on. And the only reason Patrick Graham left was to take a job with Josh McDaniels. And I bet you, seeing that he could have had Dexter Lawrence and all these other people, he probably like, damn, I probably should have stayed with the Giants. I probably should have stayed with the Giants because, you know, I think like his stock was at an all-time high when he left the Giants that first time. And I think that, you know, us not really investing in the defensive side of the ball, then we got these defensive head coaches that, you know, take some of the credit. Then we got Pete Carroll in here changing up the scheme, getting rid of good players for scholarships. I think that's done some damage to his standing around the NFL. Not irreparable damage. So I think if he goes somewhere where that he's given some investment on defense, more investment on the defense side of the ball, and less meddling, I think he can do well. And I think he has the qualities to be a head coach one day. Will it ever happen? I mean, first of all, you know, the chances of there being a black head coach in the NFL is already low. You have that on top of that you're a defensive-minded guy as well. There's already some odds stacked against you there too. So being a black defensive head coach, bro, you know, like that's tough. That's tough. But most of, I think the only head coaches in the NFL that are black have been defensive guys that I can recall, that I can think of, outside of Hugh, in recent memory. Outside of Hugh, I think those are the only ones. So that's where his chances kind of increase there. But like the odds are stacked against him in terms of everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheeto, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. You're saying, let's go get Sharon Moore. Go Big Blue.
Stop it, Cheeto.
Go Big Blue.
Don't start with me, bro. Don't start with me. Leave me alone.
Right after Chris,
leave me and my Michigan boys alone, man.
I love it. No, look, for me, I had my concerns with PG. I mean, Severe, I think to your point, I think he did a really good job with the Giants back in the day. He showed that he could actually produce a decent defense with not the best talent in the world across the board. He did a really good job of being able to kind of mold and be versatile with his defensive fronts. I had massive concerns with him going into last year. I think he did a really bad job of giving up scores on the opening drives of games. I wasn't a fan of that. I think he struggled a little bit on third down. So I definitely had my concerns and frustrations with PG, but I also think PG really was never given a full chance to see what he could mold with the defense. Because every time you get a brand new head coach, they're going to want to put a stamp on it. They're going to want to bring in their own personnel, and they're going to want the defense to function similar to what they want, which means it's a change-up of scheme at times. And it could be a major change-up. It could be minor. But you need to give that coach some time to get that personnel together. I mean, look at what we did. One of the guys that I loved and I wanted to keep was Robert Spillane, but you let him go. Yeah. I wanted to keep Spillane because that was our green dot guy. It was a guy that was going to help Patrick Graham share his mindset and scheme with the rest of the defense that's coming into the fold. Now, we go ahead and we get rid of Caleb Von Chason. We get rid of Trayvon Merritt. We get rid of some of these names, Divine Diablo, right? We get rid of some of these names that I think Patrick Graham, if you kept these guys around, not all of them, but if you kept some of them, it would allow him to continue to show progress from the year before. But because we continue to shuffle head coaches, it meant shuffle personnel. I mean, you look at Jacorian Bennett, right? Jacorian Bennett, prior to his injury last season, he looked good. He looked like he was on his way up. He was trajectorying up, right? But then what happens? We change the scheme, and he's out the building, right? And it's not an argument whether or not he was going to be good or not, but it's just the example of he had to continuously work with different personnel, and that's never easy because you got to mold it a certain way. And so, look, I think he's out the building. He's gone. I hope him all the best. I do think that he could have promise as a defensive coordinator elsewhere. Change of scenery for him will probably serve him well. And we'll see kind of how it works out. But Leo, man, appreciate you throwing a super chat. Kevin Lurk, you're saying it's damn near impossible to thrive here. It is. It's tough. Hughes from LA, no. Okay, you're still talking about Genty. I got you, man. Let's see. Dixon Sider, you say? Damn it, I said it. Chandler Jones and Christian Wilkins on PG's hit list. God damn, Chandler Jones. Yeah, that was a wild one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right, let's do this. We're talking about PG. We definitely want to get into the other coaches. Again, we're just going to talk about the coaches that are basically linked to us. Then we got one at the tail end. Guys, if there are any other chats, just let me know. Next one. All right. Interview was today. We got the Broncos quarterback, Davis Webb, for their head coaching, potentially for a head coaching job. He's going to be one of the youngest potential head coaching candidates out there interviewing for a job. If he does get the job, I think he will be the youngest head coach in the league. And so, Chris, I know you had some positive things to say to him a little bit early on. Somebody talked about it. So I'll start off with you, man. What's your thoughts of Davis Webb and us bringing him in?
Yeah, I think just with him, I mean, to be honest, I don't think he's really getting like real consideration for the head coach, position. I think if anything, his next step will be as an OC. But again, just like Severe said, or maybe you said it, it's probably trying to get some intel from him. But also, again, if we do for some reason get Vance Joseph, it's kind of been like the rumor that he's going to bring Davis with him. So maybe you just want to hear him out and kind of get his philosophy and stuff like that. But everything that I heard about the kid is he's definitely going to be a star. It's just if you got to, make sure you put the right pieces around them. But, for a team that's in our situation, like we're at we can't mess this thing up. So like being risky, I mean, I think getting him is a risky move as far as a head coach candidate. And I just don't think we can afford that risk. But I do think from everything I'm hearing from him, he'll be a name to reckon with, in the future, probably in the next, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Severe, any thoughts on Davis Webb in chat? Let me know as well. If you guys have any thoughts on him being interviewed today.
Yeah, much like Chris was saying, as soon as I heard about it and I heard we had the Vance Joseph interview as well, we were going to have, it seemed like that's a situation where it could be, Vance Joseph, if we elect to hire him as head coach, Webb will come in as his offensive coordinator. Those guys have a relationship together. So that's what makes the most sense to me. Going straight from position coach, even if it is a QB coach, to not even being a coordinator at all. Right. To head coach, like that's a lot of pressure. And I don't think he's quite yet ready for that. So I think the obvious next step would be offensive coordinator, and I think that will make the most sense for him. But that being said, like I'm not a fan of Bo Nix. I don't, I know you like Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix is good. I think so. I don't like. I'm not like I'm like saying he's did some admirable job developing Bo Nix. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's gotten better. To be honest with you, so I think he's low-key regressed in some aspects. So. I know what would be his claim to fame there.
And so there's I guess some talk about Bo Nix, and here's my thing with Bo Nix is there's obviously that you can have a sophomore slump, right? And maybe he has, I don't know if he's regressed, to be honest with you. I think what's happened with him, and I got two buddies that are Broncos fans, and they actually have a lot of issues with Sean Payton and some of his game decisions and play calling at times.
Yep.
But you also got to understand that Bo Nix is also that receiver room. I think that receiver room leads they're leading the league or second in the league in drops.
It got to be second. It got to be second to the Jags. The Jags was like at one point it was like astronomical. They had like an astronomical lead. Jacoby came in there and fixed that, you know.
But my thing with Bo Nix is that I think the quarterback play as a whole, you got like your top 3 guys, right? Your top 3, like the Matthew Staffords are always going to be up there. But even with the quarterback play, you can look at what Bo Nix has done. And I mean, he's basically top 10 in almost every statistic. But I think the quarterback play as a whole, it's just up and down because I think defenses have done a really good job of understanding how to scheme against offenses now. And a lot of offenses are now becoming very balanced. And so, you know, you look at even like Josh Allen's numbers, right? Josh Allen, his numbers fluctuate up and down. And I think Bo Nix, for myself, yes. I mean, you know, I was high on Bo Nix, but it was high on Bo Nix compared to whether it was Michael Penix or Bo Nix. And I just leaned Bo Nix. Did I think Bo Nix was going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback? No, but I think Bo Nix could be a playoff quarterback. And that's why I wanted us to potentially get him. But with my take on this guy, again, I think it's just intel. I think it's intel. Now, you go back and look at where he's played, the coaches that he's played under, and the ties that he has to some names. He's got good ties. Yeah, he's definitely been coached by some good names. But unfortunately, I think this is his first stint in the NFL as a coach. And for me, it just smells of
not ready.
Intel. Yeah, it just smells of intel. So, you know, I think what's really good is that, you know, you bring in guys like that, you get the intel, but, you know, with John Spytek being such a young GM, bringing as many guys as possible to interview, so it helps you with the interview process on the guys that you really want are really interested in. You know, when you ask questions and the feedback that they give you might drum up additional questions that you now want to target for the guys that you really want to bring in here. So, again, I think it's just kind of intel, and we'll see just kind of how that works. Let's see. What up, Eric? Raiders, what's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking up in here. Leo, you're saying I'm putting a call in to Coach AP. Let's run it back and give him his QB. Damn it.
All he wanted was his QB, man. That's all he wanted, man.
And his running back.
Yeah.
He got Genty now. You know, I don't know how he feels about that.
I see Slam and Jamie. What's going on, brother? I see you in here. Appreciate you popping in. LS, you're saying if we hire Vance Joseph, I might go camping and pitch my tent on the freeway. Oh man, Red Loso in the building as well. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you rocking with you. You said I'm okay with hiring Davis Webb as head coach if we don't get Kubiak. Man, that would be. I'm not saying that's your second, but man,
that's risky, man.
He's young, man. He's so young. So all right, so that's the first interview. That was today. Let's go to the next one, guys. Let me know. Next, we're going Vance Joseph, obviously the defensive coordinator over with the Broncos, and so we'll break this thing down as well. At the very end of this, there's some odds on what coach is going to go to what team, and I'm going to show you guys the odds. We'll agree and disagree if that's a likely landing spot for that coach. And look, there's a coach being tied to us that has basically the biggest percentage. So we'll definitely take a look at that. So Vance Joseph, Severe, I'll throw it to you first this time. Thoughts on Vance Joseph, kind of bringing him into the building.
Vance Joseph.
Here we go.
What can I say about Vance Joseph that hasn't already been said? No. I mean, Vance Joseph, man. I think I compared hiring Pete Carroll to getting the PlayStation 2 for Christmas. You know, like Vance Joseph is like it's the same level of excitement I would have. Like, I mean, I wouldn't. That doesn't like Vance Joseph isn't about to be like come out and buy Raiders tickets to see Vance Joseph.
Right.
I mean, like doesn't. like, you know, that this marketing is gonna have a fit. Like, but like, I don't know. I mean, I just don't think he's head coach material. I think he's a fine coordinator. I think he's a good coordinator. I think he will remain a good coordinator wherever he goes. I think he will be a good coordinator. I don't think he's a head coach. I just don't think he's a head coach. And you know, after we just got done with PK, I think we need an infusion of excitement into this organization. You know, something that's going to get the players bought in immediately, get them excited, get the fan base bought in immediately, get the fan base excited. And I think it's a tough sell to say, you know, you're bringing over Vance Joseph as your head coach and possibly, you know, a 30-year-old Davis Webb to be the offensive coordinator. Like, I think that's a tough sell.
Yeah, I got a quick answer. It's like, look, you're getting some more intel. He's a very respectable coach, and so you definitely want to be able to kind of just get some of the feedback that he might be able to provide. Again, it's another opportunity to interview a former head coach. Spytech can kind of just honestly brush up just on what type of questions he needs to ask. But at the end of the day, I hope it's not Vance Joseph. He is nowhere near on my list, and so that would be my take on it. Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's when I think about him. You know, again, he's the defensive minded, tough guy, gonna, you know, physical, but you know, he's not going to, you know, get a fan base excited. Again, this is such an important season, you know, off season for us. I mean, we have to be able to ignite our fans somehow. Again, he's not going to be able to do it. I would be very disappointed if we do bring him in. But one thing about him is he is well respected, and even like that time when he was coaching for the Broncos, like he never lost that locker room. Them dudes always played hard. It's almost kind of like the AP effect. Like the players still loved him. They play hard for him. He's well respected, but I just can't see him being more than a defensive coach, to be quite honest. You know, unless he inherited like a team, like, you know, but you know, to me, he's not head coach material, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's Romeo Crennel on Ozempic.
Oh shit.
Severe's got him written down. That's what he was just waiting. He's waiting.
Bar guy. I'm too cold. I'm too
cold.
Yeah, no to Vance. You got LS
on Ozempic. It's insane. That is absolutely insane.
I'm resigning to the fact that whoever they hire is likely to piss me off. Hey, don't put that out there. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Let's hope. Where's the flag? I wouldn't even want him in the building. They'll plant a cell phone somewhere recording something.
Man.
Oh man. All right. Okay, we got Vance Joseph. Again, I think a lot of people are this is kind of the same space. Yeah, Alec. This is why you come to see the war room.
Yeah.
Because you just wait for Severe to drop them bars down. All right, Vance Joseph. All right, next one. I've already seen it. Matt Nagy. All right, chat. Let me know your thoughts on Matt Nagy. Severe, you go first. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. That's another guy. Like he's reached. Like, come on, what are we doing here, man? Come on, what are we doing here? And Matt Nagy, like, look at him. Just look at him. Just look at him, man. You know, like.
And I just picked the picture. Shout out to Red Nation 509.
And the crazy thing is, he's not that old.
He's not.
That's a crazy thing.
That's Justin Fields a quarterback will do to you. Justin Fields a quarterback will do that to you. That man is 35 years old. Look people. But I mean, I wasn't inspired by what he did, and with Chicago. Obviously, the Chiefs have had a lot of success, but Andy Reid is an offensive-minded head coach, so it's hard to say how much Matt Nagy really does on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So, you know, I just don't think he has it, man. I just don't think he has it, and this is not the spot where I want. And another thing is that the Chiefs' offenses these past few years haven't been that great. So whatever he is contributing or not contributing, he needs to focus on getting them together. because they've been carried for the most part by Pat Mahomes late and playing good defense. So that's another guy that doesn't inspire confidence.
And that's, I think that's kind of to the point where it's really is it's tough, because I think offenses nowadays they've had trouble. They've had trouble trying to identify how these defenses have been adjusting over the last 3 to 4 years, and you see it in Andy Reid, right? And so there's only been kind of a select few offensive coordinators and quarterbacks that have been able to consistently kind of move the ball, put up points on a more consistent level. And you kind of see that issue with Andy Reid right now. Obviously, they have a lot of injuries. They've had a ton of injuries over the last couple of years. But, the offenses are struggling to kind of dissect these defenses, just kind of how they've been adjusting over the last few years. Red or White, you already answering it. You got 1 Kubiak, 2 LaFleur, 3 Harbaugh. We're gonna talk about one of those. We got 2 of them. We got 2 of them. We got no 2 Dracula. That's wild. That's wild. For me, all I'm seeing is a trend. I'm seeing a trend. We got a Broncos coach. We got 2 Broncos coaches. We got a Chiefs coach. All right. So I think we're just getting intel at this point. I think that's what we're doing. And I hope that is the strategy, because we got a couple more interesting names kind of moving along. And so I think for the most part, everybody is basically saying no to Nagy. And look, makes sense. It makes sense. Now let's go to the next one. Dre, you're saying no.
Vienna sausage is straight from the can.
Who said that? Is that Jesus Christ? That is wild. No one, Matt Nagy. All right, guys, we're gonna go to this one. Everybody, let me know. Let's see. Oh, we got what's going on, Spicy? Appreciate you popping in, you guys. Make sure you guys go over to Spicy's channel. Say what's up to her. Show some love over there. You guys always go, I think, live on Mondays. Definitely tap in with her and her lives. Appreciate you rocking with us. Damn it. Here we go. Here's the next one. Chat, let me know. On Friday, Clint Kubiak is going to be in the building to interview. So, chat, let me know. Do you like Clint Kubiak? Is he one of the guys on your list? Chris, let me know. What's your thoughts on Clint Kubiak? There is definitely one more head coach we were going to talk about, but what's your thoughts on Clint Kubiak?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of the name that a lot of Raider Nation, is kind of excited about. Again, a good offensive mind, but again, I'm worried about getting it right. I just don't think he's the right guy. Especially if we get a young quarterback. Most of his experience has been, and his success has been with veteran quarterbacks. Guys, it's been there, can process the game, have seen it all before. He had a little bit of success with Brock Purdy, but and plus, I don't know if Kubiak would want anything to do with the Raiders, just with his family ties and all that stuff. Like he's been around long enough to kind of understand what's a good situation, what's not a good situation. Putting yourself in a position where you're a rookie coach going to the Raiders. Do I want to start my head coaching career in a situation like this? He may not even be interested, but we'll see. But I know a lot of people are excited about him, but he's not first on my list for sure.
No, there are people that definitely like him. Dixon, you for the love of God, yes. LGM, you like Kubiak. Chia, you're saying yes. Cheeto, you're saying it's interviewing via Zoom. I do think it's just because he's obviously preparing. So
yeah, I think that's all they can do. I think.
Yeah,
I want to say. And then if they go to the championship game I think they get that bye week again. So I think they can interview again around that time. They get the championship game in person, I believe, was the rule.
Slam and Sammy, you're basically saying he's fine. I'd rather have him as a coordinator than a head coach, though. Is Clinton bringing Gary to play quarterback? I mean, it's a good, and look, it's a really good point. Obviously, with his dad, you just don't know what type of feeling he's gonna have. That's why I think the Ravens job. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that the Ravens might swoop him up because of the history there, but we'll see. So, Severe, any thoughts, Clint Kubiak?
I like Clint Kubiak. I wouldn't be upset about it if he were the guy, but he's not the top of my list. Like I like the job he's done in Seattle. But Seattle they have such a good foundation, and especially defensively that that does a lot for them there. We see what he did with the Saints, where he was a hot name that year, and he got to the Saints in a weak division. With the veteran quarterback that had talent with weapons, you got Kamara and Taysom Hill and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, and
they were supposed to be a lock. They were supposed to be a lock to maybe even go to
run away with the division. They were supposed to run with the division, and I don't think he finished the year. I don't think he finished the year. And then after he got fired, the interim, the special teams coordinator took over, ironically, Rich Bisaccia style. And they actually routed off a few impressive wins. Yeah. So, like, that concerns me because you had everything at your fingertips and a defensive head coach that wasn't going to be meddling in what you do. And, you had you came out like gangbusters. Like, I think you dropped 40 on the Cowboys week 1, I want to say. And then the second week, he did it again. I think he dropped another 40 piece. And then it was all downhill from there. Like, they figured him out like that. And so that tenure there worries me, and that tenure there worries me more because a lot of people point to I like LaFleur. A lot of people like to point to LaFleur's Jets years, but what LaFleur was in a much worse situation with the Jets than Kubiak was with the Saints, and yet and still Robert Saleh, who was one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, didn't want LaFleur to leave. That was a management decision because they were trying to salvage the Zach Wilson pick. So. Like I like Kubiak, but like I said, he's not my top choice.
So for me, I mean, Kubiak is my top choice. I know that he had that stint with the Saints start out strong, but I also think that they had quite a few injuries to the offensive line through the middle part of that season, and so that obviously I do think that hurt him a little bit. But for myself, I really do like what I'm seeing with that Seattle offense, that Seattle offense right now. Obviously, yes, Sam Darnold, he had success with Minnesota. He came over here. He's at least continuing that success, which I really like. I love the experience that he has. Like Matt LaFleur, they both have very, very extensive experience in the NFL, dating back to like 2013. And they've been through enough systems where they've seen it done. Whether good or bad, they have the experience amongst a lot of these other possible top names. That's why I'm not a big fan of Joe Brady right now. Joe Brady, I don't think has enough experience to just jump in and take the reins as a head coach. I don't like the experience that he has. I think he's only been in the NFL for I think 4 seasons so far. And so, we know what Clint Kubiak can do with an offense. He's showing it with Seattle, and it's not like Seattle has all the weapons in the world. They got Jackson Smith and Jigba. They don't have much of additional receiver core around them. And he's doing some pretty good things with not the best running backs in the world. All right. And that's my biggest thing is I think he's doing a really good job with that offense and not having just a plethora of weapons at his disposal.
I think Charbonnet is underrated. I think Charbonnet is damn good. Yeah, I think he's a damn good back. I ain't going to talk. We're using him correctly.
I ain't going to talk bad about him. You guys know my youngest brother coached him. Back in the day. And so I'm going to talk about him. I do think, but he's not this. I don't want to say he's underrated. He's not like this explosive back that you're going to lean on, right? Yeah. So he's going to be able to give you a balanced running game potentially.
But then they got from Michigan State.
They got what's his face?
Kenneth
Walker.
Yeah,
and he's a good running back. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But it's not like he's got these top 10 weapons outside of JCN that he's going to be able to kind of work with. And I think he's doing is he's showing that he can produce a good offense, which I really like. But I will say in the same breath, it's a risk. He's never been a head coach, so I understand the risk. But I also understand that if it works, you got you, and we do get a quarterback, you got yourself the tandem for years on end. And that's what I'm willing to bank on.
That's true.
But I will not disagree with anybody that says it is 100% a risk. And I get that. I'm 100% with you. But Clint Kubiak, in my opinion, he is at least at the top of my list. What up, Nate? What's going on, brother? Good seeing you. I appreciate you popping up in here. Guys, make sure you guys go hit up Nate's channel as well. Man, he goes live with the guys with the Raider Connection as well as Coast to Coast with Jeff. Definitely check out Nate over there, man. Appreciate you popping in here. Okay. And so we're going to go to the next one. We're going to go to the very last one. But Eric, you're saying, would you guys entertain Lamar Jackson? Chris, what's your thoughts real quick on Lamar Jackson?
I mean, I wouldn't mind Lamar, but I wouldn't want to pay what it's going to cost for Lamar. You know, more than likely they're going to want a lot. So I'm cool on that. I like Lamar a lot, but nah.
Severe thoughts?
Yeah, same deal. It's gonna take too much to get Lamar over here. And one of the benefits that one of the benefits that people have been touting of having a rookie quarterback is having a guy that's talented on that rookie deal. So you immediately eliminate that by giving up resources and cap space to bring on Lamar Jackson. And we're not a team that's like just a quarterback away.
Right.
We're not the Rams when they traded for Matt Stafford,
Right.
What's going on? When are you saying, knowing our luck, we'll end up with the first-time head coach OC that is terrible, complete opposite of the Bears hire. Don't put that out there, Bueno. Jesus Christ. For me, look, if we brought Lamar over, then I think there would be some excitement with the nation a little bit. Not LS. LS doesn't like Lamar, but shout out to you. I think there would be some excitement. Like you're going to bring in a good quarterback. But to me, that tells me then you're trading Max. You're getting rid of Max right away because you need to get as much draft capital as possible because you're gonna take that cap hit, and at that point, you better be damn good at drafting. I better not see any Jack Beshes. I better not see any Tommy Malotts being basically released and Cam Miller's just being swooped up on practice squads. If you get Lamar, you're going to have to be damn good building through the draft. And it's not just through one draft. It's going to have to be through for the next 2-3 drafts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a risky move, in my opinion.
And plus, I mean, with Lamar, it's like when is we going to start seeing his speed kind of go away? Right now he can evade, a lot of pressure and stuff like that. But sooner or later, that's going to slowly go away, and he's going to have to really depend on just pure passing, pure processing what you're seeing. If he's not, he's got to learn another system. Like I just don't want to. It's too risky for me. I'm not into taking a whole bunch of risks this offseason. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and I 100% prefer get a quarterback in the draft, get him on the rookie contract, preferably a 5th-year option, and that's how I want to build it. That's how I'd prefer to build it. And so, what up, Super Omicron? Appreciate you popping up in here. Lunatic, we're not there yet for Lamar and his age. He's getting up there. All right.
Lamar's a video game, though, man. Lamar fully healthy.
He really is.
We saw the Pittsburgh, man. Some of the throws were incredible.
Yeah, and LS, the day Lamar Jackson loses his speed, his career is over. He's already on borrowed time.
Lamar can still throw. People act like Lamar can't throw. Lamar can throw the ball. Just that other element.
Yeah.
The other element just takes him over the top. Like the day Josh Allen loses his speed, Josh Allen is through. The same, you just make that same argument. Like I think it's the same.
But also, I think Lamar, just him being able to get out of the pocket and just get a little extra more time, that can help his receivers get open. But I don't know if Lamar can really just sit back in a pocket a full game and just dot you up. I think to me, that's.
I think he can.
You think he can?
I look back to that Bengals game. Look at that Bengals game when he beat Joe. I want to say he beat Joe Burrow that game, and he was bananas from the pocket.
Yeah.
So he did that one crazy Blake, that one crazy juke though.
Yeah. So let's do this. All right. So talked about Clint Kubiak. I think there are quite a people that kind of put him up there on the list, which is good. It'd be good to see an offensive minded head coach come in here if we do end up going quarterback first overall. The match, hopefully that would work out. But we do also have a coach that became available yesterday that has been a hot topic amongst a lot of the content creators and all this space. And we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna talk about good old John Harbaugh. So let's do this. Obviously, he's available. Every team should be calling to at least get him in for an interview. But Chris, I'm gonna give it to you first. What's your thoughts on John Harbaugh and being potentially the next head coach?
I'm all in, man. That's my guy, man. Him or Flores. He's been around. I mean, again, he's been around that organization. He's been around, the Ozzie Newsome's. Like he knows what it's supposed to look like. He knows what that draft war room's supposed to look like. He knows. I mean, like, and not only has he been around like just getting good players, but he's been a part of developing players, developing draft picks. Those guys getting second, third contracts, stuff like that. Like, he knows how to build it the right way. He always surrounds himself with great coordinators. That's why a lot of times his coordinators are getting, going somewhere else and getting other opportunities and stuff like that. I just think he's a guy, man. I think he's a guy. I think I do think that the fan base will get excited. I mean, I know a lot of people want, someone young, but to me, he has to be the first choice, man. He has to be the first choice. He will, and plus, looking at the division head coaches that we're going against, man, he's a guy that can, he's seen it all. He's beat all of them. He's literally done that. So, he's not necessarily going to get tricked or outsmarted and stuff like that. I'm all for him, man. I don't know why there's a certain part of the fan base that just act like he sucks all of a sudden. I just don't see it.
I will say, like, my brother's a big Ravens fan. I mean, outside of my entire extended family are basically 49er fans, but one of my brothers is a Ravens fan. And so I know he was talking during the middle of the season where people, I want to say this was probably around like week 8 or 9. People were already on the fire, John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Losing those leads and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, and my brother was like, that's
a wild stat.
Nah, it is.
And my brother's first comment was, who are you going to replace him with?
Right.
Like, that's the one thing that you have to really understand is if you get rid of John Harbaugh, who are you going to replace him with? And so, again, I got to believe that they have a plan in place. But I definitely got my take on it. And there's some people. Rick, you definitely want. You're all about it. Like you're saying, there's 7 teams already called for Harbaugh, which is understandable without question. Some people... Cole Kev, Harbaugh on a $70 million contract. Mark and Brady going to write that off. Bertoloso, knowing Harbaugh. There are some people that don't like the retreads. I don't know if I would put Harbaugh, but I wouldn't put Harbaugh in that retread category. I just wouldn't. I mean, when you talk about retread, you're talking about someone that truly failed. I don't know if Harbaugh necessarily failed.
That's what I'm saying.
And so
if they don't, if that kicker doesn't miss that field goal, he's still coaching and he'll be back next year. And
maybe Tomlin getting fired, man.
Right.
And we were talking about Tomlin.
Yeah. And if people always talk about retread, I mean, like, was Andy Reid a retread when KC got him? Was Belichick a retread when the Patriots got him? Like, I hate that narrative of people act like just because you got fired somewhere, you can't go somewhere else and have success. I just don't agree.
Yeah, so got my take on it, but severe, man. But hold on. LSU saying I'm higher on Harbaugh than I am on Tomlin, Flores, Saleh, but I'd be very cautious about this hire. Severe, thoughts on Harbaugh?
Yeah, Harbaugh, for me, right now, he'd probably be third. LaFleur is my number 1 guy. Flores is my number 2. Harbaugh would be third. Kubiak would be 4 for me. I think people, it's like when you've been good for so long, like, people actually hold that against you, and that's kind of where Harbaugh's at. Like,
kind of where Tomlin kind of has been sitting for a little bit too.
Right.
And same thing with Tomlin. He's been good for so long.
Right.
Like, people hold that against. Like, what do you go? 8-9? Like, bro. There were Raider fans that would murder their firstborn.
Right.
The Raiders 8-9. But there was blood sacrifice.
Thank you.
To get us above 5, barely like to 8 wins. So, like I don't see like why now. Like, we're like the Raiders. We're turning up our nose at a guy that's had recent success.
Thank you.
You know, this isn't a Pete Carroll situation where they're like, you know, we're gonna demote you and put you in the consulting role because like you've run your course. It's just that like they want a new voice, right? They want somebody that's going to maximize Lamar Jackson. They understand there's a window there, so they need a jolt to the organization, and that's what the new coach they're hoping he brings. But that don't mean you should turn up your nose at a guy like this.
Right.
Like this ain't a Pete Carroll situation, right? Like I think that he's shown the ability to be adaptable. We saw what he was able to do with Lamar, where hey, what you wanted to develop Lamar Jackson? What do you do? Oh well, my brother had Greg Roman in San Francisco. We saw what he did with Colin Kaepernick and adding a running element to that guy's game. We're going to do that in the meantime until he develops. And then he had the foresight to bring in Todd Monken from Georgia. You know, you got a guy like Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. Okay, I see he can use tight ends. We're going to provide him with the weapons and put Lamar Jackson in a system where he can rely on 2 tight ends at times and do that. So I think he's just shown the ability to just be a great leader. Obviously, the fourth quarter blown like those crazy blown leads. That's concerning.
That's tough.
That is because it's like the stat was wild. I forgot what the stat was. It was some crazy stat. I was like, my God. It was a crazy stat, but like the Raiders aren't like what they say. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Like the Raiders aren't in a position to tell anybody that's as accomplished as him that still has years left. I think he's in his early 60s, just not like a guy in his 70s like Pete Carroll was. So I think he still has a nice runway left to coach, and I think he's experienced. He's did it in one of the best divisions in all of football. He's been butting heads with a guy like Tomlin for years.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I don't think we can just like totally poo-poo the idea of bringing in Harbaugh. The one area or the one thing that would give me pause outside of the blown lead thing, which is like, can we get a lead? Like, I'll be happy. Like, let us get a double-digit lead. Like,
at least we had a lead to give up.
Right?
He might not even have to worry about that because we may never be up more than 9 ever. So, that might not even be a concern. But the thing is that when you have a guy that has that much interest around the league, that's as respected as he is, if he comes to a team like the Raiders where it's an obvious rebuild situation, what do guys like that in that position want? They want power, control, and money. And we just went through a spell where we gave John Gruden probably too much control over organization and too much damn money. We gave Josh McDaniels. Well, Josh McDaniels was just punking Dave Ziegler, and Dave Ziegler didn't do his job. But he enacted too much control when it came to the draft and things of that nature. And then obviously Pete Carroll this past year, it was a similar situation where he had too much control over personnel and over the draft and things of that nature. So like a guy like Harbaugh to come here, he's going to want those things. And I think when you have a young ownership group, not necessarily young, but like, in its infancy in terms of building the culture and getting things together, I don't think they're going to be willing to give up that kind of control to a guy like John Harbaugh. Because I think they want to put their own stamp on the organization first.
I feel that. I think the only pushback I would say is I think John, again, he's seen what it's supposed to look like. And he's always had trust in, and again, he's had some of the, maybe the best GM in front office that anyone's ever had, arguably. So, but at least I think he's done it enough where let those guys do their job. Like I don't know if he's going to meddle, he might, but
he doesn't give me the same vibe that like a Tomlin would.
Right.
That's one of my concerns with like a Tomlin, right? I think Tomlin would come in and be like, hey, I know how to run this. I know what a front office looks like. This is what we need to do.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh does kind of strike me as the person that would let Spytek possibly do his job.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I really like that. I want to see that Brandon Hunt, the VP of player personnel, the guy we got from the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
I don't know. He might have brought his Booker, but yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Damn. You just He spoiled my.
I'm joking.
I just thought about that. God damn it! No, but seriously, I really think that John will let those guys do their job. Because he's seen it. He's seen it work. So I don't know, but I mean that's a good point. But we'll see.
And that was my only concern with bringing someone in like Tomlin, but then obviously like Gruden, for the love of God, no, because he would basically go straight to Mark Davis.
Yeah,
if he had any disagreement, and Mark Davis would basically get down on a knee from him. So, look, I think without question, and I know that phone calls have already come in. I think without question, Spytek has to bring in Harbaugh, and you got to interview him. You have to interview him. You have to. It's almost not just with the intention of possibly hiring him. You need to learn from him. Whatever answers you could get from Harbaugh, you could just dig as much as you possibly can to just understand and digest everything that Harbaugh can share with you, even if the intention isn't to hire him right out the box. Now, if we would have got if we hire on Harbaugh, I think it's kind of in my opinion, it's kind of a Tomlin situation, to where if Tomlin was able to kind of hit the reset button and be able to fully rebuild, I think Harbaugh can do it. I think Harbaugh has easily the ability to come in, rebuild this thing. I wouldn't have any concern about that. Same with Tomlin. I think Tomlin over the last, and I think Harbaugh might be in the same boat, where Tomlin for the last probably 3 to 4 years, you do the Aaron Rodgers move because you have that pressure that you have to win.
Right.
And so you're not trying to build it, you're just trying to win. And you're scrounging, you're fighting at everything just to win. Harbaugh might be trying to do the same thing. If he comes here and can completely rebuild, I think that he could do a good job. I have no doubt of it, or no reason to doubt it. Here's my only concern, is that he is going to be, I think, 64 years old. Yeah. And if you take a full 3 years to really rebuild this thing, you put yourself at 67 years old. And if you rebuild it to where you're making the playoffs, because he's not an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, and you start to find success, do you now find yourself having to reset and rehire an offensive coordinator when you have a quarterback? And now is he going to want to kind of see through another couple of years? And look, yes, we just went through Pete Carroll, 73, 74 years old. Does John Harbaugh want to still coach at 70 years old? That's 6 years from now. That's not too far from now. And to me, that's why if Harbaugh came here, I do think that he could turn around, he could build it, but I just don't know what that building results in, given the fact that you're not going to be here for the next 15, 20 years. Like, I want to reset this organization and potentially put it in a pathway to where we now have sustained success for possibly the next 15 to 20 years. That's what I would hope for. I just don't know how long Harbaugh still wants to coach. Could he rebuild it, be here for 3 to 5 years, and now he's 68 years old? I just don't know when the stopping point is for him.
Yeah, and that matters. No, that definitely matters, and that has to be talked about in the interview. Yeah. What is your long term? When do you want to retire? But
that's my only concern. Like, if he was brought in, then obviously I think you had, without question, he's one of the best to do it, in our generation. And so I think he can come in, he can hit the ground running, but you got to also expect that it's going to take him 2 to 3 years to kind of really turn this thing around, at least. And at that point, at 76 years old, I'm sorry, 76, at 66 years old or what have you, do you still want to rock this thing? And if you find success, and now he's got to find a new offensive coordinator because that coordinator you just kind of groomed now wants to move on, it's like, damn, okay, now we're going to hit that reset button a little bit with the quarterback, and you see what's happened with the Lions. It's like, how well can that transition continue on when he's kind of getting up there in age? That's my only real big concern.
But that's one of his strengths, is his adaptability. I mean, he's done it, he's lost guys and he's been able to find talent. I mean, he's been able to replenish. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I think he's been able to replenish knowing that he still has years left. Yeah. Whereas if he gets the point with us where he has to replenish, now is it like, shit, nah, I'm kind of done. Or the thoughts of being done is now basically entering his head. That's the only concern that I would have at this point. And that's why I don't know if he'd be my first choice, I think my first choice still goes with Kubiak, even though I know it's a massive risk with the first-time head coach. But if it works, then you possibly have your next head coach for 15 years. So that's my only concern with Harbaugh. And I don't know if people agree, disagree with kind of that with that take. Prim Plub, you're saying Harbaugh wouldn't even think about us. Coaches come to the Raiders and leave with the stain on their resume.
That's facts.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I'm saying. I don't, he may not even want to look our way.
And one reason why I think there's a good chance that he won't want to come our way, and we're about to get into some of the percentages of coaches going to certain locations, because he is kind of up there in age. Would he go somewhere that already has a quarterback? You got 2 other job openings that already have a quarterback that have already gone through that 1 year of experience.
Yeah. And
he jump in and just really start to hit the ground running with those guys and not have to figure out the quarterback situation here. I don't know. That could be something he's looking for. Slam and Sammy, appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. Stefanski, coaching Mendoza, Bowers, and Genti. You like Stefanski? I honestly, I don't. He's not really on my top 5 list. That's just me. Chris, what's your thoughts on Stefanski?
Yeah, the crazy thing about Stefanski is I actually love his play designs, but it's just like his play calling and when he calls them. That's the biggest thing, because again, I watch the Browns quite a bit because of my dad, and a lot of my friends are Browns fans. So yeah, I wouldn't want no parts of Stefanski. At one point, I was interested, but just kind of the way things played out in Cleveland. I know it wasn't all on him, but yeah, I'll stay far away from him at this point.
Going back real quick, Severe, what's your thoughts on Stefanski?
The second that I heard they gave Shedeur Sanders the wristband with the wrong plays on there, and then tried to lie and say, "Oh, there was just something smeared on it," I was done with Stefanski.
It was all set.
Bro, that was cool,
fair
bro.
Enough.
I'm cool on you, bro.
I don't know the details behind that, but fair enough. Birds of Distance, man. Appreciate you popping. You're saying, hold on, Harbaugh wants to get rid of teams' GMs in order for him to accept their head coach job and bring in his own GM. Is that true? Are you?
I don't.
I went back and Slam and Sammy, I appreciate the super chat, brother. You said I have my evidence. He told Tampa to fire their GM, but they said no. That's why Todd Bowles has his job today. I never heard that report. That's crazy. That's good. That's wild. If it's true. That's crazy.
Prez, you might let me see that evidence, man.
But also, then that might determine, obviously where he goes now. If he still has that type of pull, you know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, obviously that was a while back. Now he may not have that type of pull nowadays. I don't know. So okay, all right. So we kind of all we went through, and Rick, you screaming it. John Harbaugh is a winner. I don't think no one's going to doubt that, right? I mean, he's got a damn good coaching career, and look, you bring him in. I think he has a really good chance to turn this thing around.
Yeah.
So
not Pete Carroll, guys. He's not Pete Carroll.
You cannot put him in that without question. Can't put him in that mix. But Slam 17, Cleveland is good at running the ball and passing to the tight end. But if there are issues like Severe just said, those type of things going on, I think that'll be tough. Coach Jamba, that's not the Raiders, though. The shit that went down with Pete was 100% his fault. Pete dug his – I don't want to put that out there. I was about to say he dug his own grave, but I'm not putting that out there. He's old. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to finish off. I told you guys there's already been some percentages, and so I'm going to put these up, and you guys let me know if you agree or disagree at the potential landing spot that is being projected based off of just this report. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. There's definitely some names tied to it that we all like. So we're going to pull this up. We're going to start off with Harbaugh. 56%, and this is based off of Action Network. Again, I don't even know the credibility, but they're throwing percentages out there. They got John Harbaugh right now at 56% as odds to be the New York Giants head coach. Chat, let me know if you agree or disagree that John Harbaugh might end up landing at the New York Giants. Severe, what's your thoughts?
I think, man, that's the best possible destination for him. That's the destination I would go to. You got a quarterback already in Jackson Dart. You got a monster at wide receiver and Malik Neighbors, who's going to be a dog. You got two backs in Cam Scatterboo and Tyrone Tracy, who I like a lot. You know, I don't know where Devin Singletary is in terms of his contract, but he's a solid complimentary back as well. And you got, three beasts on four. You got Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns on your defensive line.
That's
like
nasty.
you can do some work over there. You can do some
You got
work.
a top draft pick?
And you got and a top draft pick. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think that'll be, and expectations right now, expectations probably ain't that high right now. You know? Like maybe they'll probably raise when you bring in a guy like Harbaugh, but like, they haven't seen a whole lot of success recently. So you can go there, you have tools, you have resources. And if you win, you're a hero.
Yeah. And you have an opportunity to kind of turn that franchise around. The Giants have been struggling as of late for long enough to where you potentially have that opportunity. The only thing I will add is I think out of all the top kind of landing spots with a quarterback, top draft pick, they definitely, I think, have the worst salary cap situation. I think they only have about $21 million roughly. Now you can create salary cap, you can move things around, but I think that's just what their current situation is. Chris, I'll throw it to you in just a second. But Dix, you're saying you agree that Harbaugh looks like a little bit of a favorite to land with the Giants. Giaya, you agree. Raquel, you agree. John Fallon, if not us, then them. Kane, you're saying the D-line is nasty too? Yeah, without question. So, Chris, thoughts? Do you think that there's a good chance Harbaugh, if that statistic is right, 56%, do you think there's a good chance he might end up there?
I don't know. I really don't know because honestly, I mean, to me that's the job you want, So it just depends on who's considered the top name, does people look at a Kubiak as a new Ben Johnson this year? I mean, Kubiak can go there and do he can run it up. He can run it up over there. So so I don't know, man. So I guess it just depends on. I mean, shoot, even Flores, what Flores would do with that defense.
Oh my God,
that would be something stupid, man. That would be stupid. But yeah. So to answer your question, I'll say
Jeff Haley.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Jeff Haley. That's a name I ain't heard forever.
No, it's Halfley.
Halfley. Oh, Halfley.
He's the God. Who is he? Yeah, not Jeff Haley.
Oh, but hey,
is that guy still in the league?
Man.
Yeah. So Harbaugh. I don't know. I don't know if I could see him going there, but if he wanted to, I mean, it might be a spot. But to me, all the coaches should be fighting for that job.
Yeah, words applied. You got the Giants would be a fun team with Harbaugh and Rick. You say he also can wait for the Green Bay job if it opens up. You don't know. That'd be crazy if Matt LaFleur gets kind of put down over there. So we'll see kind of how that works out. So all right, next up, real quick, guys, let me know. Stefanski over to the Falcons. All right, Chad, let me know. Do you think that's a decent landing spot? They got Clint Kubiak there, 23%. Chad, let me know. Do you think Stefanski is going to basically head his way to the Falcons? Chris, what's your thoughts?
They got a Penix. They got some.
They got Penix. They got a decent defense to work over there. They got Divine Diablo, Severe.
Hey,
work over there.
Baller.
You know the crazy thing about Stefanski though is like he does is.
I'll be real. I don't even know. I don't even know where Stefanski would fit.
That's what I'm saying, because he's not. I don't think he would use Bijan right. There was a lot of criticism that he didn't necessarily use Nick Chubb right. I mean, there was a lot of times that he was trying to, force things with Baker instead of giving it to Chubb. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a good fit for him. I don't.
Yeah. So Rick, agree. Isaiah Falcons kind of did Raheem Mostert dirty. Raheem Morris dirty.
Yeah, they did, in my opinion.
Dixon, as long as Stefanski doesn't coach the Raiders. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. LS, I think this is exactly where Stefanski ends up, as long as he's not here, right? Isaiah Stefanski seems like a future Titans coach. Maybe. I think the Titans are up here as well. Severe, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, Stefanski there, I wouldn't do it. If I'm Atlanta, I wouldn't do it. To be honest with you. If I'm Atlanta, I wouldn't do it. You know what? Piggybacking off the last one, I think Harbaugh will make a lot of sense here, because not only did Raheem Morris get fired, but the GM got fired.
Yeah.
So Harbaugh wants to go somewhere, because the Giants are keeping Joe Shine for whatever reason. They're keeping Shine for whatever reason. The dart pick, who he what was the actual that was a day ball pick. That saved his behind. So but he gets here to Atlanta. Obviously, we don't know how long Penix is going to be out. They don't have a first round pick this year, but they have Bijan. They have Kyle Pitts, who had a resurgent season. They got Drake London, Darnell Mooney. They got solid offensive line. They got Algier too. They got they got a young defense. Jalen Walker and Pierce over there, and Devon Diablo, Jesse Bates.
Yeah, Bates.
I think that's Do they got Bowman? Is Bowman there too? Is Bowman over there with them? Or Xavier Watts with them?
Xavier Watts is with them, yeah.
Xavier Watts is a dog.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they got the makings of a nice
pieces,
little.
Yeah.
They got some pieces there, and like I said, if he can bring in his own GM, I think they can do some work there if it's Harbaugh. So I mean, if I'm any team, I really like whoever has Stefanski anywhere near the top. I'm gonna be like, nah, I wouldn't do it, because I don't like Stefanski. So.
Where's the flag? He's got to license it. Hot Atlanta Harbaugh. It's going to happen. And look, I think Stefanski, if Clint Kubiak is also up there in the running, then Stefanski, please, just take that job. Just take it. But I'll be honest, I really don't know where Stefanski really fits. If you look at across the board, it's like I'm trying to figure out, and I don't know if it's just Cleveland hasn't really been able to kind of give him any type of identity outside of building a really good defense.
Exactly.
Right? I don't know. I have a hard one. I have a hard one with trying to figure out where Stefanski is going to go. Just when, baby, you're saying Falcons got an okay team. They do. So, all right, here we go. Next one. Raiders. They got Brian Flores, 34% coming to the Raiders. All right, Chad. I know we've already talked about who we want for the most part. Let me know if you would want Brian Flores to end up with our Las Vegas Raiders. What you guys' thoughts? Severe, I'll throw it to you first. Obviously, we've already talked about who we want and stuff like that, but what do you think there's a chance that Brian Flores actually might end up here?
I think there's a great chance. Brian Flores spent 18 years in the Patriots organization. I think he worked his way up from being like a scout, I think he talked about making like $400 a month as a scout, to being the guy that Bill Belichick personally groomed and trusted the most on that coaching staff, right? And you look at his track record. Look when he got to Miami. I think they were ranked in the 20s in defense. The very next year, they finished consecutive years top 10. The Vikings, he gets over there. They're ranked in like the low teens in defense. I think they finished last year 6th, this year like 4th or 5th, right? So I think he's a guy that he gets to places and he produces. Obviously, his first tenure with the Dolphins didn't end well. People talk about I think Fitzpatrick said he alienated people in the organization, yada yada yada. But put in context, this man, and I talked about it before. You're a black head coach in the league, rare. You're a defensive head coach in the league, rare. You got the owner telling you, not suggesting, telling you to lose games, offering you money to do so. This is this is felonious. You can go to jail, lose everything you've built, and you're real running like, he wasn't very nice to people when man, I ain't gonna be nice, bro. You asking me to put my freedom and everything I worked for on the line. I worked my way from the bottom. Nobody gave me anything. I worked from the bottom to get to be a head coach as a black man and a defensive coach. That don't happen often. And you telling me to throw it away to tank for Tua, a guy I don't want, and then you draft him anyway against my wishes. So like that, you got to put all this stuff into context. And you know, so he took his lumps. He went down a bit to be a position coach with Tomlin, learned under Tomlin, who we've said has had a great track record of building cultures of winning. And then he went with Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the best offensive minds in the league. And so now he's been on a staff with Tomlin and with Kevin O'Connell and with those offensive guys over there. So he comes here, he can either bring in some Patriot guys like a Dayball, I know a lot of people like that, or Josh McCown, who's the quarterback's coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who the Texans damn near hired as their head coach years ago before they finally settled on Lovie Smith. So I think it's a good hire. He's a guy that's a no-nonsense guy. He has ties to Tom Brady. I think, I think he works well here.
All right, so I think a lot of people, and again, they're saying no for many reasons, but I also think that Brian Flores isn't necessarily on the top of their list. So I do think it's pretty crazy. Yes, a lot of people are saying, why is Bill Belichick on there? Obviously, just the Tom Brady reference. I will say the one thing I don't like is the fact that Clint Kubiak is nowhere on this goddamn list. But Chris, your thoughts on Brian Flores? I mean, do you think that there's a high chance that he ends up here in the position ultimately?
I hope so. I mean, again, I Harbaugh is my first, but Flores is my second. Before Harbaugh got fired, I was telling everyone, Flores was my pick. Again, I think he's going to bring an intensity. People talk about him making Tua cry. I don't care. That tells you more about Tua than anything else. I mean, that's what's wrong with our daggone culture anyway. We're too soft. Yeah. We're too soft. We got guys going to HR. We got players going to HR because of some whatever madness going on in the locker room. That's not
screw those players. Screw those players.
I mean, like, come on, man. Like that's not something you do. We got soft. We remember the NFL survey that they were doing, talking about, McDaniels was too hard on them. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, we are soft. That's why we're always losing. We're always getting outplayed. We're a soft culture. And we need some toughness, and we need a discipline. I mean, that's what we need. I know, it doesn't make everyone feel warm and fuzzy, but that's what we need, honestly. And I mean, he's gonna hold guys accountable. Guys aren't gonna be, taking plays off and doing this and that. Like they're gonna be studying, they're gonna do what they have to do, or he's gonna get rid of them. I mean, that's what we need for our culture. And then he's 44 years old, I think. So he fits that young mode. He could bring a Daboll. And honestly, I like him bringing Daboll, but then I also like the thought of potentially bringing Ken Dorsey as a quarterback coach. Like, to me, I like that. I all of them together. I think that could be something that we can build off for a long time. He's a coach that can give us, 10, 15 years or whatever. I think he can build that culture, and he has a relationship with Brady. I mean, it's a lot of, it's a lot of things that I think will be good. I think it'll be good. I think he, if we did keep Max, I think he would get the most out of Max. I know people keep talking about this, about Max when he went on his visit or whatever. Max said that the coaches were tough on him. Who cares? I mean, that tells you more about who Flores is, man. He's a tough, no nonsense guy. All this little powder puff softness, man. I mean, we gotta get away from that, man. I think Max would respect the heck out of Flores, what he would do for that defense. So, everyone that's trying to run with that narrative that Max would hate Flores, I strongly disagree.
So real quick, I'm going to go through some of these comments. People are kind of flying with it. Raider Hawaii, it's a personality issue with Flores, and if you go by the process of elimination, he's got a few red flags. LS, Survivor raises very good points. I just think his personality is a big risk, and the fact that he is a defensive guy when you're taking a quarterback number one, probably. You do want to kind of match up that offensive mind. potentially, with a quarterback, and so we'll see how that works out.
Takes care of that though. Like a guy like Dayball, who's not going to probably get a job anytime soon. That's the fix right there.
It does, and I think, but it's just not maybe the ideal, because if you end up doing well, then guess what? Dayball might be off somewhere, and I think you run that risk. But
look,
we'll see how it works out.
I think D'Amico Ryans has done pretty well with.
Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see just kind of how it works out. Definitely, we'll see what the direction we go. Jonathan Studios, NFL owners have sent the signal. Mark, your franchise has a history. Do not hire a coach who is suing the league. Good old Gruden times.
They can tell all the people that have been been crying for Dust to bring Gruden back.
That's what I'm about to say.
I know. That means there's a lot of Raider fans and Raider content creators throwing dirt on Flores, and it's nasty work. Duncan, what's going on, man? I'd rather get Kubiak, Shula, and Minter than those coaches list. I think you're talking about the rest of them.
Yeah, just the whole list. Yeah, whole list.
Let me respond to hold on.
Which one?
Where do you go?
Go for it.
Oh no, so hold on, I'm trying to find it. Oh, so what he said the narrative that Max put out there himself. Unless I missed it, did Max say that he doesn't like Flores specifically, or was it that he said that he went to the visit and the coaches were tough on me, and he didn't want to get drafted there? I didn't hear nothing about that. He just didn't like Flores. He said it was a tough ass interview, unless I missed it. Maybe I didn't. I only seen half of what he said. But am I missing something?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I mean, because people keep going to the video where Max was basically saying, I told my agent I don't want to get drafted by the Dolphins. He was basically saying because the coaches were hard. Yeah, they're rough on me. Yeah. He said, I like PG, but the coaches were rough. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well, they didn't want to see what you're made out of. So yeah, I don't want to hear that, man.
Kevin Lurker, what would Flores say to Tyree?
Jesus.
It'd be another man crying. That's what that would be.
Exactly.
Look, I know we've talked about head coaches, obviously prior to even Pete Carroll being fired, and Flores is my favorite if we went defensive minded. Flores has been my favorite. I think Raiders resistance he kind of threw out there where he potentially in the past alienated some of the coaches. Here's the thing, for myself, if that's true, I do love the fact that Brian Flores has been far enough removed from that Miami situation to where maybe he's learned from some of the things that he did in the past. How can he improve? And how can he make the situation just a little bit better than what he had in the past? That's why I like coaches that have been at least maybe 3 years removed from their prior head coaching experience, because you give them opportunity to learn. That's why I would pick Brian Flores probably over Robert Saleh, because he's just very fresh from that Jets job. Not to say that Robert Saleh would be bad, because between Saleh and Brian Flores, they both have very extensive history coaching-wise in the NFL, which is very respectable. Yeah. But if we went defensive-minded, I think Brian Flores would bring that mentality that I think the Raider, in severe to your point, and Chris, you said it as well, like, look, yes, we just have a little bit of a soft mentality nowadays. Oh, but the thing is yes, that might have been the case with Josh McDaniels, but the moment you bring in Brian Flores, man, I hope he would just set the tone. And if you want to be soft and you don't like it,
this ain't
you might find yourself removed from the building.
Yeah, this ain't for you.
And so, look, I think Brian Flores is my favorite if we went defensive-minded, and you match him up with a good offensive coordinator, and I think there is a chance that it can work. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see at the end of the day how it works. And so I think there's a couple more. Jesse Minter. I know there's a lot of people like Jesse Minter. They're thinking that he might go to the Ravens. We'll kind of fly through these because I think a lot of these names are guys that aren't necessarily tied to us. And plus, we've been on here for over 3 hours. So we're going to kind of let everybody else kind of rock out. So we got Jesse Minter, 26% to the Ravens. Quick, yes or no, Severe? You think that's a good spot for Jesse Minter?
I think it's a good spot. Obviously, the Harbaugh relationship there, is almost like a Mike McDonald where, like they took him to be DC and at the University of Michigan, and then brought him to the NFL, and he's had some success as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. So I think the next logical step, would be for him to take over the reins as a head coach. He's only spent this is only his second year as a DC in the league, so he's had enough experience. We've seen guys before only spend a year or two as a coordinator. If they exhibit what's needed at that position, then they can go ahead and advance. So I think that makes sense. Like I said, the Harbaugh connection, it makes a lot of sense, and just going into such a stable organization, where what Ozzie Newsome left behind, what he helped create, I think is just a great spot for a guy like Jesse Minter to kind of grow.
Chris, thoughts on Jesse Minter to the Ravens?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that organization would be patient with them as well. I mean, honestly, we see that they're patient with their coaches anyway. So, for sure, if I was Jesse, that would definitely be my spot. You already got some pieces on the defense that you can work with, you can grow with. I think that's a good spot for him.
You can use Cal Hamilton like Derwin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree in the sense that because he is a young head coach or potential head coach, he doesn't have a lot of experience in the NFL. The only way that potentially has a chance at success is if you match him up with a very, very, very solid and locked in front office.
Yeah.
Where they can teach him the ropes. He can understand. I mean, if you take that's why people have thrown out Jesse Minter for us. I don't think we're locked in enough as a front office to allow him to have potential success moving forward. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but we're not the right platform right now for him because of the lack of experience in the NFL.
Yeah, and plus it's just again, I keep going back to just the tenure of the coaches in our division. I mean, I think Jesse, I mean, he's still learning. He's literally still learning. So, you going against, Andy and Sean and Harbaugh, to me, man, I want somebody that's more battle tested and who's really went head to head with those guys.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we go one more. Okay, we got Vance Joseph. We actually talked about this. We talked about Vance Joseph. Obviously, we were going to bring him in for an interview. They're thinking he'd go to the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it potentially could happen. I don't know who's next. I think we got Matt Nagy to the Titans. I don't know. It could happen. I can see Kingsbury to the Titans.
That would be clean.
Yeah, with Cam.
Yeah, I can see
that
Cam.
would be
you see that?
Clean.
With Cam.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And then they got Clint Kubiak. I wanted to end it with this. The
highest
percentage is Clint Kubiak to the goddamn Cleveland Browns. Shout, let me know what you think.
The Browns opportunity is not bad, man. It's really not.
It's just I look at the Browns. I'll be real. I look at the Browns and I look at the Jets and I look at us as just horrible spots for anybody. To be dead honest with you, we're dysfunctional. We have a bad history with developing coaches as well as developing players. It's damn, I would hate for a young kid like that to kind of go to the Browns. Obviously, I want him to come here. I want Clint Kubiak, but God, to see him to at least have the highest percentage, it's not great. It's 12, but to go to the Browns, God, that would be. You
know what would be insane is if he's the one that can unlock Watson and bring Watson back to be a beast.
Right.
Man,
I'm serious. I mean, he's good at unlocking those veterans,
the veteran guys. Yeah. But think I don't want to take anything away from him. I don't want to take anything away. It's gonna sound like I am, but so we talk about the guys he unlocked was who? It was
Darnold.
Sam Darnold and who was the other guy?
Shit. You talking about Clint Kubiak?
Yeah, who was the other? It was another name. I can't even think on the top of my head.
Oh, he's the OC. It was OC with Purdy, I guess. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, no.
When he was with Shanahan.
Yeah, who did unlock? But because I think some of the Sam Darnold is kind of a byproduct of because Sam Darnold spent that year in the 49ers system, and then he went to the Vikings, which runs a very similar system, and then you know, obviously he goes to Clint, who was OC under Kyle Shanahan, runs a very similar system. So essentially, Sam Darnold spent 3 consecutive years in the same system. So I think that's part of the reason he's having. I think that's part of the reason he had success last year with the Vikings, just that continuity in terms of like the system they're running. And then I think it adds on to it this year, being over there in Seattle. But I mean, I think
Kirk Cousins
over, yeah, in Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. Oh, Kuyak was in.
He was in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's OC there.
He was the quarterback coach, I believe.
Okay. I don't know. Let's say give people quarterback coach. I don't know. Giving quarterback coach the credit for unlocking guys.
No.
But he worked with them. He
was a coordinator because didn't he take over for Stefanski?
I don't recall that.
Didn't he?
I don't recall that. I know because I think which guy was his first coordinator job.
I'm sure the chat will get to it. Let me see.
But I think look, if you comparing us, the Jets and the Browns are the clear favorite. They're clear. It's clearly a better job. It's not even really close.
He was the quarterback coach 2019 to 2020, but then he was the OC in 2021. So he was the OC for 1 year in 2021
for Cousins, right? Yeah,
with the Vikings. Yeah. With the Vikings. Okay.
Yeah, for the Vikings.
Who was the head coach? Who was the head coach at that time?
That had to be. Oh, it was the older white guy, the defensive coordinator, the former defensive coordinator.
I know you're talking about I know you're talking about. Damn.
I'm blanking on his name.
It's gonna kill me. Yeah, they fired him for O'Connell. But I think didn't we bring him on as that was Leslie Frazier, reporting advisor. But like look, the Browns, they got some quarterbacks there. You know, depending on what you feel about Dylan Gabriel or Shador or Mike Zimmer. Yeah, depending on what you feel about Shador or Dylan Gabriel, you got 2 young guys. If you feel you can, have a reclamation project with Deshaun Watson, you got him. Or you also got the ability to kind of get off that contract, I think, in a year or two. So you're going to free up some cap space. You got running backs. You got Quinshawn. You got Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
And I think they got another one too. I want to say. But then at wideout, that's where you kind of have some issues there. But Isaiah Bond, you got Harold Fannin. That's a weapon right there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you got your defense is locked in. I mean, you got the best defensive player in the world in Myles Garrett, and you got Mason Graham right there. And then in the second level, you got Carson Schlesinger, and then you got Ward at corner. So you got some pieces. You got pieces at all 3 levels defensively that are game-changing people. You got potentially 2 just on the defensive line once Mason Graham really gets going. So I think that's a very good opportunity for him. And you got the GM is still there and Barry. And so while they got rid of Stefanski and they kept the GM, I think that kind of spoke that kind of spoke volumes to me. When they got rid of Stefanski and kept Barry, that said a lot.
So what you're saying, Severe, it's a horrible location. It's a horrible spot because Kubiak can come over here. God, man, I love the breakdown. The breakdown was amazing. Severe.
I'm missing Josh McCown. Well, as an OC for Brian Flores, though, not as a head guy.
I mean, Chris, thoughts? Kubiak to the Browns after Severe. Brilliant.
Take it, Clint.
Horrible spot.
Take it, Clint. Take it.
No, I mean, I think it's a good opportunity. I mean, and you got to think they got 2 first-round picks this year. I mean, like they got again, if he think he can get something out of Deshaun and then use those picks to get some more dogs, the best players available, or even move around in the draft, like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he'll pick it. I don't, but if he did, I would understand.
Yeah, I think what's really tough for me is that it's the only thing that's attractive here is the fact that we have the number 1 overall draft pick. That's really it. And we have a lot of salary cap space. Yeah. That's really the only thing that really is attractive for our situation. But then you go over to the Browns, they already have a locked-in defense. They have 2 first-round draft picks. They have a top position in each round to be able to build off of that. And so, yeah, it's still a shitty spot for Kubiak.
Because us. I mean, like just talent-wise, like on the defensive side of the ball, we only really have Max. It's like you could project they're going to be like a true impact player for years. Offensive side of the ball, obviously Brock Bowers, expect to be a monster. Other than that, you hope that Genty develops. Obviously, Charles Grant is, need I say more? Need I say more? You got potential franchise booking tackles.
Charles Orlando
Grant. And Kubiak has a relationship with his estranged father, Trent Williams, from his time.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm taking this off the screen. I need to know more about it. Just Kubiak's gonna come over here. God damn it! But they're saying if who's the DC if Kubiak is the head coach? I gotta look at more ties, but to who he potentially has. But that is a good question. I don't know who he'd bring over. Hopefully it would be someone former head coach, someone that has a lot of experience to help him out. Steve Wilkes.
Yeah, Steve Wilkes. That is horrible.
So all right. Look, I'm going to go back up to the big screen. We're going to shut this thing down. We appreciate everybody that's rocking, man. Hey, look, we kind of broke down all the coaches that already have been scheduled for an interview. We just looked at some of the percentages. We also broke down some game film. That's going to be the last time we do it, obviously, of the season. Our last game was done, but you guys do know we're going to continue to break down some game film, but it's going to be more of potential prospects going into the NFL draft, but also some free agents. And so we definitely appreciate everybody that rocks with us. Appreciate everybody the super chats, everybody that threw comments out there, the members. We definitely appreciate everybody rocking. But if you guys do want to throw out suggestions on who you possibly would want to see us break down, again, college prospects or even free agents, then, well, at least for the members, we'll try to put them on the top of the list and kind of just see what the names look like and who we can prioritize. So we definitely appreciate everybody that's rocking with us. Over 300 in the building. We have the number one overall pick, and the offseason is now upon us because obviously we are in the playoffs. I think everybody's starting to get excited. So we're going to continue to hit you guys with any news, anything that goes down as it relates to head coaches. So appreciate everybody, man. Let's see. I was looking at the chat. Chris, man, let everybody know what you got rocking, what you doing. And shout out to everybody that's going to be in Pittsburgh. We're going to be out there. Let us know. But, Chris, let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys, get out there to Pittsburgh with us, man. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie, man. Right. But, as you guys know, man, Protect the Shield podcast, just rocking out with my guys every Sunday, every Wednesday. Just doing my thing, man. Salute to my boy Dub Raider. Do some content with him on the weekends as well. So check out his. At some point, I'll probably get my own show again. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe not.
We're gonna get you back. It's gonna happen
later. At least I'm wearing Raider gear again, man. So
he'll get his own show after he runs for 1,000 yards.
There you go.
It may happen next year. It may never happen.
Right. As long as we get a good offensive line, Severe. Exactly. That's what it is.
Exactly.
And a quarterback. And yeah, man. But make sure you guys, check me out, man. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share. Salute to everybody that's here on over there on X and Twitter, man. There's quite a few of you guys on right now watching the live. I really appreciate all you guys. If you guys don't mind, come on over to the YouTube channel. At least hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. Helps us, get in the algorithm and get more support, man. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate everybody. Severe, man. Let everybody know what you got going on with all your shows throughout the week.
You guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, TikTok, X, IG, Snapchat, everywhere. The Severe Raider. It's Sundays and Wednesdays, man, with my guys, Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider, man, in the Raider War Room. Giving it to you real, raw and uncut, giving you them bars as well. Bar guy. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, my dog, Pharaoh, NFL, man, the 50-50 show and Around the Shield. Tap in with your boy, man. I'm like I said, man, I'll be doing a Monday thing sometimes, man, but my son started track. So that's making it rough. It's making it rough. But, I'm going to try to get back on the Monday thing. I'm trying to get back on the Monday thing for sure. Maybe after Chris starts his own show, I'll get back on Mondays. We'll see.
We ain't gonna see him for Monday in a while.
There's your motivation. Oh man, LS. Hey, if you ever get the chance to get out here, man, you gotta definitely let us know. We're
gonna see LS before we see Rundown.
Man, if we see LS before we see Rundown, bro, I'm done. I'm done, bro.
Because I've already seen
myself from the chat.
Rundown's being kicked out of TRS. He has to.
I removed myself from the chat, bro.
I've already seen Apakasi twice, and he lives in Australia.
Twice.
And not Rundown one time. Because in chat, y'all know, we'll say we're gonna go somewhere, and Rundowns will be like, "Oh, what game you going to?" Well, I'm going to this game. Ah, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to the next one.
To the game right after.
Man, look, Cheeto lives down the street from Rundown. He ain't never met him.
Never met him. God damn it, Rundown. We're gonna look for this kid. We're gonna find out where he's at. That's for sure. So yeah, man, we appreciate everybody. As you guys know, I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. I rock out on Sundays and Wednesdays in the Raider War Room with Chris, as well as Severe. We rock out. We have a good time. Where Rundown live. He's shit.
In a mainframe somewhere.
Exactly. In the Matrix.
Matrix.
He says he's in California near Inland Empire, near Leo. So we'll see how real that is. We'll see how real that is. But look, yeah, I just rock out. I go live. I'll do my I used to do some videos. I do a whole lot of videos no more, man, because look, I jump on here. I just do some shorts to kind of give you just my quick take on some of the things. But at the same time, I might do some solo lives here and there when I have time. But I appreciate everybody that rocks out. So we're going to get up out of here. Man, almost 3.5 hours in. We got some talking to do just a little bit about the upcoming draft. So hit that notification so you guys do know when we drop more content. But at the same time, we'll definitely update you guys on Pittsburgh and the draft. It's going to be fun. So, man, I don't know. Was that shit? Did I just see? Was that Rundown? I don't know if that. No, it wasn't. Okay. I thought that was Rundown. That was tragedy. What's going on, man? Appreciate you.
Somebody need to hit the mouse over at Rundown's house. The monitor sleep.
I know, right? So, hey, we appreciate the members. We appreciate the subscribers, everybody viewing. We also appreciate the super chats. But tap into us, hit that notification, double tap that like button or that screen before you get out of here. It just helps us out. We appreciate y'all, man. And look, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see y'all on Sunday. We're out here. Peace.